Did you remember to turn the video off like you said in the thread when the game's on?
Video off.
Yeah, didn't you say that in the help desk thread that you'll turn the video off during the match today?
Good point. We are now live as well.
Oh,
a bit of a production meeting going on into the live session there. Good afternoon. Welcome to the live stream, everybody. It's West Ham United versus Atalanta, the final pre-season friendly of the 2021-22 pre-season campaign. DL, as you heard there, was making sure that I make a slight adjustment to something on the site, which I'm going to do right now. Yes, it is myself and DL. He may not be on the moderating team anymore, but he's still very much a part of Eyes Up Mother Brown.
hello.
DL, how you doing, buddy?
Oh, good. Very good. Thank you. Hope you're well yourself.
Yeah, I'm all right, actually. I had a bit of a strange one just before we came on here. I was just about to come out to the studio, and I opened the door to our conservatory via which I walked to get outside to the garden, and there was a strange dog in our conservatory I've never seen before. Apparently, it was a neighbour's dog that went wandering and got lost. So that's one of the reasons why we're running a little bit late, is because I had to relocate him. But all's well anyway. That ends well. So yeah, apart from that, how's your summer been anyway?
It's been very nice, actually.
Good.
We had lovely weather when we went away last month, and it's been crap since we come back. So that's good. And I'm back to work on Thursday, which is one huge milestone.
Well, that's good news. Have you? I saw a picture on Facebook the other day. You've been getting everything out of the wardrobe stuff. I think you're saying you hadn't worn it for a year or whatever, and you're getting it ironed again.
My uniform's washed. I was going to iron it, but
that's a good start.
That's what tumble dryers are for, isn't it? I'll iron it once. I'll iron it once, and then just use a tumble dryer, and maybe at Christmas do it again. Well,
that's good. That's good. You say Thursday, is it? You're going back?
It is, yes.
Awesome.
So if you live in Medway, just don't go on the roads for about a week.
We shall get cracking with coverage of the game very, very shortly. As you might have heard us chatting about at the start, we are just making a couple of back-end changes to the site with regards to the advertising while the game is on. Our ad that's been causing a few problems. The video player is being removed during the while the game's being broadcast. But anyway, we are pretty much bang on kick. Of course, DL, we are still waiting for a live link. This might be the shortest Eyes Up Mother Brown stream ever.
We're up and running.
We are up and running. Good.
I'm up and running on the one that we spoke about on a well-known social media site. That's
Awesome. That's good news.
The rain stopped in Stratford. The sun is beaming over the pitch. It's looking very vibrant. It'll be a perfect day for athletics, I'm sure.
Yes. All right. I'm just checking to make sure everything's as a good. Right. The forum is good. We will of course be keeping an eye on the KUMB forum match thread. Just to see what everyone thinks. But it is, as we were saying, West Ham United versus Atalanta. Neither DL or I have done a great deal of research, so we can't tell you an awful lot about the away team. I can tell you how they line up this afternoon, though. It's Musso, Gosens, Palomino, Captain Toloy, Dimiciti, Myla, Freuler, Dirun, Pasalic, Midanchuk, Piccolo, with various subs, Sportiello, the goalkeeper, Rossi, another goalkeeper. They've also got two keepers on the bench today. Pazzella, Del Prato, Demiral, Pessina, Gislandi, Scalvina, Deriva, Lovato, Muriel, and Zapata. Of course, the former West Ham target lining up for the Italians this afternoon. DL, do you want to take us through the West Ham team?
I will do once I've found it. Yes. I'm sorry. I was just about to go on the match thread on the on KUMB. Where is the West Ham lineup?
As you can see, it's our first stream of the season.
Yes, here we go. In goal, we got Fabianski. Then we got Kufal, Diop, Dawson, and Creswell in defence. We've got a skipper back, Declan Rice and Souček with their formidable midfield partnership. With Fornells, Yarmolenko, Benrahma, and Antonio tasked to whack the goals past our Italian friends.
Good stuff. Have you got the stream up and running there? Have we kicked
I
off?
do have the stream up and running, indeed. Indeed, I do. And if I just sat and watched the stream, I would have got the line up on there because it's just come up.
Ah, good stuff. Well, I'm still waiting to get the stream. It's not come up on my...
On the sub, our substitute bench has Areola, Martin, Alves, Johnson, Fredericks, Baptiste, and it's just gone off the screen, so I'll have to go to the other page. Baptiste, Coventry, Bowen, and Oko Flex. That is a cool name.
It is, isn't it? But I'm still not sure whether it's Oko dash Flex or Oko Flex, one word. Even the club's website has put it both ways since he joined us from Celtic. So yeah, it's a bit like. Do you remember Johnny Paintsil, where there was all that debate over whether it was Paintsil or Pantsil, wasn't there?
Yes. But with Oko Flex, it sounds like one of those 1970s exercise things that you used to see in a Sunday make.
One of those. Yeah, yeah, it does a bit. It does a bit. But
Oko Flex, please allow 28 days for delivery.
He looks like a bit of a player, though, doesn't he? From what we've seen, of course, he scored at Celtic the other day against his former club.
He does. Hopefully, he'll be the revelation of the season. That's what I'm clinging on to. If we don't sign nobody else,
well, I was going to say we haven't signed anyone, so we're or anyone for the first team squad. So we're kind of hoping one or two of the kids come through, aren't we? What do you make of that? The whole transfer debacle this summer.
I've got to run with the line that I've run with on the forum. We've still got a couple of weeks to go yet. All will be well, but I wouldn't bet a tenner on it because I don't want to lose a tenner.
You're not confident, are you?
We have now kicked off, and West Ham are kicking from left to right. Obviously, Atalanta are going the other way, and my stream's just died. No, it hasn't.
Hey!
It's back again. It's back again. We're just knocking it around the back at the moment. Have you got a stream yet?
No, I'm still waiting to come up. I'm just. Oh, hang on. It looks like it's trying to load.
Now, oh. And we've just won our first throw-in of the day, just as my stream dies, and Kufal throws it, and it amounts to absolutely nothing. And Atalanta have got it back, and they're playing it about defence at the moment. I'm actually going to have to watch the game. I don't normally.
Oh, as you might have just heard, I've got the Italian commentary come up. We're both on there now. Where are you, Nick? What's you? How far in the game?
49 seconds, 51, 52.
Perfect. I'm about a second ahead of you. I've just seen Fabianski take his first touch. So for once, we're going to be screaming and shouting at the same time, I guess.
So you're out in rural Lincolnshire with your snail broadband, and you're ahead of me with my Virgin Media 650 meg. That's not right.
Well, to be fair, I mean I'm running on 4G only, but it's a bit pixelated. It's kind of like a 2008 quality stream that I'm watching on. But anyway, we can see it. We've got the game. It is underway. Vladimir Sufal has just given the thumbs up to the fans, who no doubt have giving him a cheer.
We've got Benrahma running down the right-hand side here. He's put the ball in the middle. Oh, who was that? Okay, no, he ain't playing it, is he? That's the thing. I can't see who the players are. I can go full screen, but I do that. I can't see anything else.
Well, Sufal's just nearly taken the skin off the inside of his leg trying to keep the ball in, but unsuccessfully. It is a throw-in to the Italians on the halfway line. It's David Moyes looking very chipper and smart.
Seen a lot of him recently.
Yeah, I wonder why. It's been very popular. Hopefully we'll have some new content to bring lately. The Italians have got the ball in their own penalty box right now. It's 2 minutes gone. West Ham United 0, Atalanta 0. Did you say you managed to get the match thread up and running?
No.
Okay.
I'm trying to go there now.
Okie dokes.
Let's have a look. I've got so much open on my computer. I'm getting all a bit flustered. I need to shut my Lightroom and my emails and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Look.
Oh, Atalanta are through. Ball's come down the left. The number 66, or it could be a number 99. I'm not quite sure, given the pixelation of this screen. It's a 99. The ball's just run out. He hasn't managed to keep it in. Yeah, Atalanta, the first look at them, really in possession, looking dangerous, but come to nothing, fortunately, for the Hammers. Ball played down the left-hand side over the top of Vladimir Sufal.
Yeah, that weren't the best first touch I've ever seen.
Piccolo.
90. I've never seen the squad number of 99 before.
I have. I'm trying to think who it was. Was it a Liverpool player, or it might have been? I'm not sure now. But if you're watching us on the live stream, hello, by the way, to everyone joining us. If you can tell us who else wore number 99, do let us know. Another ball played out to the left-hand side. It's pulled back in and volleyed over the bar. I would say into row Z, but it doesn't even actually make row A of the the London Olympic Stadium because it's so far away from the pitch. Taloy with the effort there. David Moyes, I think that's Moisey, screaming a few instructions at his players.
No, it's the other bloke.
It's the other guy.
It's the other bloke.
It's how bad my stream is. They're both wearing black, and it's very. They're both sort of grey, but yeah, it's the Atalanta.
Yeah, Moyes is the pasty one. The Atalanta bloke's the orange one.
Lucas Fabianski has the ball. 4 minutes gone. No goals yet. Atalanta looking slightly the brighter of the two sides so far. We'll run through the teams again for you in just a minute. Just having a look at some of the comments on the match thread, which have gone again. We're seeing number 88 now. What is this? Are they going for the total number of highest points? Perhaps if you add them up, we've got 99 and 88. Or it could be a bingo thing, couldn't it? They're playing the ball down the right anyway, but once again, it's come to nothing. But Italian's looking quite bright so far, DL, and of course finished third in Serie A last year. One of those teams that sort of come from nowhere, aren't they? Atalanta didn't really have much of a history up until a few years ago, and seem to be one of the top Italian sides right now.
They are, yeah. I mean, I don't really follow European football, but I do remember them when Channel 5 first came on the air. That was the first time I'd ever heard of them, when they used to play on the late night on the sports show. That's it. Yeah, so I've heard of them. I'm not going to say that I know too much about them. I know that if in alphabetical order, they're one of the first teams.
Yes, yeah. We're in the 6th minute now. West Ham are looking to play the ball through the centre, looking for Yarmolenko, I think it was, but the keeper's out quickly to smother that. Moby Dick on the stream asking for the team. I'll run through that quickly. Hi, Chris. Hi, everybody else joining us. Bear with me just a second because, like DL, I've got about 1 million windows open and can't find anything. The team, West Ham's team today is, where's that come from? Fabianski in goal, Sufal and Cresswell playing at left and right back, Diop and Dawson in the centre, skipper Declan Rice and Hammer of the Year, adding to his KUMB Player of the Year award, Thomas Souček, alongside him, Pablo Fornals, Ben Rama and Yarmolenko, the three midfielders ahead, attacking sort of midfielders, and Antonio, the spearhead of the attack. That's how we line up today. Areola, David Martin, 2 goalkeepers on the bench, Fredericks, Johnson, Baptiste, Alves, 2 youngsters there, 2 young defenders on the bench with him. Mark Noble, Connor Coventry, Jared Bowen, and Okaflex. Jared Bowen, of course, deal linked with the move to Liverpool, wasn't he?
He was,
recently.
yes.
We thought we might not see him again, but here he is back in the squad.
I think that's just paper talk. I cannot see, as good a player as Bowen is for us, I can't see where he fits into Liverpool. He doesn't scream a Liverpool player to me. I just think it was just a quiet day on the press, and somebody thought, what unlikely stories should we make up? Let's have a look. And they went through the alphabet, come to beat Bowen, and yeah, that'll do. And then they flicked, then they rolled the dice, and it came up as Liverpool. And yeah, that'll do. We'll make that one up. I can't see it happening in a million years, never.
Just a bit of tittle tattle for you. My stream has stopped, by the way, so we're relying on you for live updates at the moment. Yep,
we are looking a little bit dangerous in their box. I think we just actually won a corner. Mikel Antonio tried to cross the ball in his usual imitable way, i.e. he didn't really get very far with it, and it's bounced off their player and gone out for a corner. So I'm trying to see who's going over to take it. It won't be Bowen, but the camera seems to be focusing more from the centre of the goal. I still can't see. Let's try and go full screen a minute. Oh, now I've got the zoom in. Now I've got no idea who's taking the call. West Ham players taking the call.
Yeah, I've just got the stream back. It's a good delivery and it's a good clearance actually. West Ham looking dangerous there, but Hammers regain possession. Still got it out on the left. I think that's Ben Rama. It's difficult to see. I'm going by the colour of the top of his head. I think it's Yarmolenko who took the corner. The ball's played back square in the midfield. Declan Rice back in the claret and blue, has the ball at the moment, looks up, plays it gently out to the left-hand side. Aaron Cresswell, little short ball to Ben Rama, who has a poor first touch, and it's a throw into Atalanta.
I think
8 minutes gone.
I think you're now ahead of me. I do think you may be ahead of me. I'm on 8 minutes and 10.
All right, I'm about 7 seconds ahead then. So,
that might be why when you were saying what was going on, I was like, hang on, this ain't what's going on here.
My stream is...
Close that down.
Sorry,
I'm going to have to reload
my stream. In the top right-hand corner, there's a little label that says Gasson 86 or Gasson, if you're saying it literally. So I don't know if that's a slightly different stream, but it looks like my provider is changing to find one as we go along. Anyway, enough about that. Enough about our trials and tribulations in trying to find a stream. One of us will be able to keep you up to date, at least with what's going on in the game. And it's 9 minutes gone. Atalanta in possession in the middle of the park. The ball played back to the halfway line. West Ham holding their 2 banks of, well, it's not 2 banks of 4, it's a 4 and a 5. The ball played between the two, and another one with a very high number. I can't see who these players are. As possession 30 yards from goal. Number 11 plays it inside. It's played back, and it's coming out to the left now. Atalanta looking to build, but West Ham holding firm. Played down the right-hand side. And Soufal manages to pick it up, finds Yarmolenko to Dawson. I think that's Soufal again. Looks to play out, and West Ham win a free kick. 9.5 minutes gone. West Ham United 0, Atalanta 0. We did speak, didn't we, briefly about the... about our hopes for the season. We're talking about, I think you mentioned that West Ham are 10-1 to be relegated this year.
Yes.
It's a little bit generous or not generous, as the case may be.
It's a bit worrying. I thought we'd be sort of in the 33-1 or something, considering the season we've just had.
Yeah.
But it's West Ham, isn't it? We're always just a fag paper away from disaster, aren't we? So that's a lovely ball there from Fornals to Antonio. And Antonio's running and he's just had it taken off his toe by their number 2.
Toloi, who had that shot earlier in the game.
Toloi.
On my stream, the ball's back with Fabianski anyway. 10 minutes, 15 seconds gone. He's launched it long, looking for the head of Antonio, who wins the header. Doesn't really come to nothing. Yarmolenko tries to win the second. Sorry, not even Yarmolenko, is it? It's Fornals. Don't even look anything like each other, and just sends his man, number 3, which is Marla, to the deck, and it's a free kick for Atalanta. 10.5 minutes gone. West Ham United 0, Atalanta 0. We should say hello, really, to everybody who's joined us on the stream. Moby Dick, Chris Mulhall, Jack Cook, 24 Hours DXNZ. I hope you've managed to get a stream, buddy. Grasson Upton, one of our regulars.
Oh, sorry. I've actually just found another stream, and I think I'm actually I'm now 2 minutes ahead of you now.
Oh wow! Okay.
So what I will do, we are not going to advertise this because obviously it's probably a little dodgy. So I will drop it to you.
Okay. Where are you on the time? I'm on 11:21.
I'm on now currently on 13 minutes and 2 seconds.
Okay. Send me that link and hopefully I can get both up and running at the same time.
I have sent it where we have been communicating via message.
I have it now. Oh, I see. That's a very, very naughty one, isn't it?
It is.
But, let's have a quick look and see if it works. It does indeed, and I'm on 13:25. So
same as.
Awesome. We have a stream running together.
And we are
not sure this one's going to last long, given the source of it.
I don't think it will either.
Anyway, as we said, 13 minutes, 40 seconds. Slightly better stream, actually. Slightly better quality than the one we've been looking at. Soufal with the throw-in for the Hammers, throws it down the flank, looking for Antonio, who's beaten to the ball. Not really anything to sort of grab us so far, is there, DL, from what we've seen? No one really sort of standing out so far. Early days of...
No, the most exciting thing's been finding the stream that's 2 minutes ahead of the one we was watching. We've got Atalanta now. They're just bringing it out from the back with a bloke in a white shirt with dark hair. A long ball forwards, and that's headed by... is that Diop? Is it Diop? It might. I can't even remember who's bloody playing. I only read it out, so don't ask me difficult questions. and they're coming back, and it's not amounting to much, is it? It's all a bit.
No,
you have it.
very
You have
scrappy,
it.
very
It's
scrappy
like hot
so far.
potatoes at the moment.
Yeah. Yeah, Yarmolenko. There's something we can sort of discuss. So,
Yes,
back in the team today.
he is back in the team. I'm hoping that he can stay injury free because he's got his detractors, but there is a good player in there. There is a good player. Maybe he's not as fast as we'd like him to be, but you can't help how slow you are. I know he's got a wand of a left foot, hasn't he?
He has. But I mean, I think I made this point on the forum just after the Euros when he scored that fabulous goal. I think it was against the Dutch, wasn't it? But he's one of those players who, he's one of those YouTube kind of players where you could make a wonderful highlights reel, and he's still got the ability to score those fantastic goals. But we know David Moyes likes players who put in a 90-minute shift, and you just get the feeling that he hasn't got that in his locker. That ability to sort of chase back for two 45-minute halves.
Do you know who he reminds me of? He reminds me of Falbert, a player that was extremely hyped up, had pace, and then gets a blooming ligament injury almost as soon as they sign for us, and they're a shadow of what they look like on YouTube. So there is some good comparisons to be drawn there. But unlike Falbert, he knows where the goal is. Because how many did Falbert ever score? He only scored once, didn't he? Twice or something? Yeah, sure someone can answer that.
Yeah, he didn't score an awful lot. Let us know if you know. Our stats man, Rio, is unfortunately unavailable today. In terms of the rest of the squad, in case you're wondering where everyone is, Nomi's at the game. Pinky, I believe, is at the game. We're going to hope to get one or two of them on at some point during the game. Rio is unavailable. And I believe Briz DL was stuck somewhere on the M5 this morning for about 3 hours. And I don't know where he is right now.
No, I've not seen him either. So if he's out there, if he's got us on audio or something, just give a toot or whatever. I do wonder how that's going to work with all these electric cars when you're stuck on a hot day in traffic on a motorway and you can't move because your batteries are going to run out. And then what?
Yeah, we were talking about this the other day here, actually, we're just cutting back to the game briefly. Goosens has had a bit of a talking to after putting in a bit of a late tackle there, but game has resumed. I just had this vision of, everyone has to, plug these electric things in. Does this mean that people who haven't got driveways on their houses are going to have like coffee leads running from the somewhere in their front room across the pavement into their car? And, there's going to be loads of claims from people tripping over, these leads lining the street. I don't know.
Well, that's if you can even get a parking space outside your house. I mean, I know places where the people have to park in the next street and stuff like that locally. So it's not going to work. The ban's going to end up being lifted from 2030 to 2035, and then it'll be kicked down the road. And
by which time I certainly don't expect to be around. But anyway, we'll leave that one for the next generation to worry about. It was going back to the game. It was Soufal who was briefly down. It looked like an elbow in the back of the head from Gosens, who, as I said, got a bit of a speaking to from the referee. Chris Mulhall, yes, they are. The new bins are indeed in honour of the new Euro draw. And actually, I had a bit of a splash out in the summer while we was off, and I bought 2 pairs. So I think I might keep these as the away ones. But yeah, there you go. Atalanta, DL.
Yeah, I know. I've just had a message from he doesn't post as often as he did. Remember Tonka Man?
Of course,
he's just messaged me asking me for the link for the game that we're watching. So yes, he's now enjoying watching it along with us. So that's my good deed for the day.
Cockney Hammer, how you doing, Steve? Good to see you, buddy. I think there's a link in the forum. If you look at the streaming thread, as Rob has kindly just pointed out, there's a YouTube stream in there. I can't really give you any more information because we'll probably get slung off air if I start handing out links to illegal streams. But I'm sure you can find one if you have a little look around KUMB. 19 minutes gone. West Ham United nil, Atalanta nil. Atalanta once again looking to probe and Freuler it is who's working his way into the centre of the park. West Ham, as I said before, really about 10 minutes ago, standing firm. Atalanta playing lots of short 5-10 yard passes, looking for a pass in or around the box, but it's just not there. Yarmolenko now there. We were just saying that he doesn't really do an awful lot of work there, DL, but working like a Trojan. He
is. And I'm noticing on the defence as well, we seem to be keeping our shape pretty well. Against Celtic, we looked a little bit all over the place.
Yeah.
But of course, against Celtic, we didn't have our magical duos in front of them either, which does make a big difference. Rice and Souček weren't playing against Celtic, were they? So it just goes to show how important that those two are to us.
Yeah, very much missed, weren't they, that game? What do you make of this policy of, we appreciate they've been playing in the Euros, but here we are 1 week from the start of the Premier League season. This is the first game that Souček, Rice, and one or two others have played since they came out. Do you think that's enough pre-season preparation?
They're professional athletes at the end of the day. They've only had, 3 weeks off, 4 weeks off? I know it's not a lot, and it's going to be tiring for them, especially with the extra games. But, at the end of the day, they are conditioned and honed professional athletes at the end of the day. All the Atalanta have got it in the box. They're trying to thread through to a goal here. Number 99 is now running it out. He makes me want to have an ice cream with a flake in, to be honest, this fella.
Piccolo, that's our friend Piccolo, and who's just won a corner. And Aaron Cresswell and I'm not sure who else it was, teaming up to ensure he didn't make any more inroads towards the 6-yard box. But I think this is Atalanta's first corner deal, isn't it, of the game?
I think it is. Yes, it's coming in from our right, is it?
It is indeed. And here it comes, cross towards the near post. And Fabianski climbs highest and plucks it out of the air.
I can see him having a stormer of a season because he don't want to lose his place to our new goalie.
Yeah, you know what? This was a really interesting discussion, wasn't it? In midweek, we did a poll, one of those polls that we like to do from time to time, where we asked everyone across our social media channels, the KUMB forum, KUMB Twitter and KUMB Facebook, who they wanted to see start the season in that number one spot, and it was an almost exact split. Fabianski taking 47% of the vote, Areola taking 48%. There was no more than sort of 15 or 20 votes between it. But what do you think? Do you think Fabianski deserves to retain the position, or should we?
At the moment, he's still the one, isn't he? He's the holder of the number one jersey, as it were. But he's going to have to be kept on. He's on his toes now, isn't he? He knows that he's got. I think he knows deep down. I think Areola's a better keeper. Last season showed that Fabianski does have a few rickets in him. The Liverpool game, especially. That was an horrific performance by him. And I don't think it was the first time. I think he had one the season before as well against Liverpool, didn't he? Where he made a few clangers that led to goals. So, I mean, if he doesn't lose the shirt, it means he's played well, doesn't it? So I'm happy to see him retain it through his performances, but I think if he gets one of his once or twice a season injuries, and the new chap comes in, I think that might not curtains, but I think it'd be difficult for him to get his place back.
Yeah, I mean, it certainly is good competition, as you say. There doesn't seem to be an awful lot between them. But we've got so many goalkeepers there. As was pointed out this morning on Twitter, we've got more goalkeepers than actual strikers these days.
Yeah, I see that
situation. What do you think of Darren Randolph? Do you think that's it? He's played his last game for the club?
I think he has, unless something major happens. But at the end of the day, this is West Ham, so I wouldn't rule it out. Really, Fabianski would take a goal kick, do his hamstring, and then 10 minutes, Areola would end up getting concussion or something. So.
You never know. And of course, we signed another. Well, we've actually signed. We've just seen Atalanta break down the left-hand side, long ball over the top, looking for Pasalic, who tries to bring it down with his left foot, but the control is poor, and it's rolled out for a goal kick. 23 minutes gone. West Ham United 0, Atalanta 0. Yes, we've signed other goalkeepers. We signed a goalkeeper called Brian. I mean, there can't be many of those around these days, can there? No,
there's not many Brians about at all. I was having this conversation the other day with a mate. We were going through our Facebook friends list. And I've only got one Brian on there.
Yeah.
And he had one. And then we were just picking random people out of our friends list and going through their friends. And everyone has, I don't know about you, but most people seem to have just one friend called Brian.
Well, look, my longest pal, who I've known since we were mere babes in arms, is a Brian, funny enough, and he's not actually a West Ham supporter, but there's a funny story surrounding it in that he wanted to be a West Ham supporter, and many years ago, I'm going back to when he was, must be 5, 6, 7, something like that, when you get your first football shirt. He asked his mum to go to Woolworths and buy him a claret and blue West Ham shirt. and she went somewhere else and came back with an Aston Villa shirt, and consequently, he's been a Villa fan all his life. So, you know, there's been much ribbing ensuing this week about the sale of Jack Grealish. But then again, we shouldn't laugh too much because they promptly replaced him with 3 players, didn't they? So, Villa are going to be a good side this year, I think. You reckon they might be a bit of a dark horse for a European spot?
I think that they've done, I've said it on the forum, I think they've done good business by getting rid of Grealish, because they forced the issue of not being a one-man team. So he's now gone, and they've made some very good signings. Not just outside for Europe, but I wouldn't be surprised if they're the surprise package this season, and they maybe, as Leicester have done, as we nearly did last season, break into the top 4. I think it's gonna be another one of those odd seasons where the form and rule book is out of the window.
Yeah, I make you right. We've just seen Said Benrahma have one of West Ham's first efforts of the game, a little 1-2 with Pablo Fornals on the edge of the penalty box, and struck it's pretty easy for the goalkeeper for Musso, struck low into the centre of the goal. But you know, someone asked me, I did a thing for a local paper in midweek, when they, you know, the usual thing they ask, what do you think about West Ham this season? How do you think they're going to do? And one of the questions was, who do you think is going to shine from the squad this year? And I kind of thought about this quite a lot. And my answer was Said Benrahma, because we were quite critical of him, weren't we, last year on the streams? One of our number especially critical is not with us today. But, you know, we felt that there was a player there, but he was perhaps a little bit greedy, a little bit lightweight, and perhaps not quite, you know, fully up with, you know, the pace of the Premier League. But I've really been impressed with him in pre-season. He's got a couple of brilliant goals, and that goal at Brentwood against his old club last week, fantastic, won the game. So that was my answer, you know, that Benrahma I felt would be the player that could really light up the season for West Ham this year. What do you think on that? Who would you suggest?
I'm not sure who's going to light it up, but he's going to have a better. He's got to have a better season than last season, because I still think last season wasn't anything to write home about. I get he weren't given that many chances, but I think because of his performances, that was why he wasn't getting chances. It wasn't just a case of Moyes didn't fancy him.
Yeah,
he just don't think he was working hard enough, and a lot of people felt the same, reading on the forum, social media and stuff, and obviously on the mod pods and whatever.
Yeah.
He's got to do better. So I'd love him to do better. I want to be proven wrong. I've said I think he's going to bomb. I don't think he's a highlights reel player for me.
Yeah.
I don't think he is going to be a fully fledged PL player. But I'd love to be proven wrong. So if he does well, he does well for us. I am hoping that Bowen steps up. Somebody on the forum a few days ago mentioned that he could be a new Craig Bellamy type striker, and I can see that in him. Yeah, I can see that. He's pacey, he's nippy, he can hit a ball. So I think maybe Bowen, if, as I think the Liverpool rumours are a load of old rubbish, and he does get a good run of games up front, I think he might surprise us. And he looks a little bit more bulked up as well this season. Since the end of last season, he looks a little bit more stocky.
Yeah.
Which
he does, definitely. And I think that's one of the things we've seen with Benrahma as well in pre-season. He looks to be a bit more physically, you know, attuned to the Premier League, to this sort of standard of football. But anyway, just going back to the game brief. I mean, Benrahma's now tearing down the left, looking up to play a ball in the middle. He's played it across. It's just in front of Andrei Yarmolenko, who's bursting through the centre, and Musso grabs it gratefully. But better stuff there from West Ham DL. And there's our man, Said Benrahma, popping up on the left-hand side.
He does look a bit more chunky. I am hoping he's not been stuffing his face on the States, and it is where he's been in the gym. But the speed he went down that wing there, no, he's certainly conditioned himself up. He's the physical appearance is more of a Premier League player. So hopefully he gets his head down this season. So I do want to be proved wrong. If he does well, so do we.
Yeah, exactly. Just having a little conversation. Atalanta now beginning to break. 29 minutes gone anyway. Atalanta looking to break, and there's a really good interception there. I think that's Diop.
Who's now just been fouled.
Yeah, hauled to the ground. But I mean, this is another player, isn't it? Diop, another one that a lot of people have been very critical of in recent weeks, especially during the summer. You're saying he's a bit slow. You know, he doesn't watch the flight of the ball, doesn't pick it out well. But you know, I've seen him do this quite a lot in pre-season, where he's sort of read the game very early and anticipated what's going to happen. Good example there, really.
Yeah, I've always liked him. I've always liked him. He's one of those ones, I think, because he's so gangly, he looks like Bambi on ice. But he does seem to know what he's doing. He does read the game well. He doesn't always read the flight of the ball. Yes, I do get that criticism of him, but I think the game's gone from the old-fashioned oof it and cross it, isn't it? Really, even when the ball is crossed, it's not particularly high in the air no more. It's chest high and at speed. So I think, yeah, don't get rid of him. He's another dark horse to have a good season. Actually, it's just he was ill last year. Let's give him a little bit of slack there. He was pretty good when Moyes first took over for the second time, and then he got his COVID, and he weren't the same since. So I'm hoping that he'll be back to his old self, and he's looking it so far, to be honest. So,
I think he's had a good pre-season. I think he's looked really decent. I'm enthused by what I've seen. Anyway, I think he's got to perform basically this year, isn't he? After a dodgy year, but this hopefully is his year. We're just seeing Pablo Fornals burst down the left, looking for options in front of him. 31 minutes gone. He's played it out to the right. Space here for Soufal. He's going to look and get a low one in. Not a low one. It's delivered to the far post. Antonio leaves it. Ben Rama takes it on the volley. It's off the crossbar. What an effort. What a chance. Very close for West Ham still on the ball. Declan Rice picking it up 28 yards from goal. Tries his luck. It's about 3 yards over. But there you go, DL. We were talking about in Ben Rama, and closest West Ham have come to a goal yet.
Yeah. He looks stronger this season. He does look stronger. He's dare I say it's only early days. He's looking like a different player to the Fancy Dan from last season.
Yeah, very much so. The cross from Soufal, unusually, caught me out as well there. Probably caught one or two players out. Instead of playing that usual low ball into the centre, he dinked it over to the far post as our stream disappears.
Yes, it does.
Just going to wait and see if that comes back. But, we're back again. And, Ben Rama, one touch, took it down, control, second touch, half volley, smashed off the crossbar and... two efforts. We saw him have a shot 5 minutes earlier. He definitely looks like the player most likely to, doesn't he, at the moment for West Ham?
He does. The replay view, I don't know if it was just my stream, but it actually looked like Rice's shot came off the back of the defender and it should have been a corner. Maybe it's my eyes deceiving me.
Yes. But better stuff from West Ham. Anyway, I'm just going back to that question we were talking about. Who do you think is going to shine for the Hammers this year? Let us know in the YouTube chat. Who do you think is going to step up and look really good? I said Ben Rama. If you weren't watching that a few minutes ago, DL feels that Jarrod Bowen could be the best candidate. Let us know who you think. As I say in the stream, who you expect to shine this year. We're just seeing Atalanta break down the left, cross coming from the left hand side. Oh, it's a real chance. It's a really, really good chance, DL. I'm just trying to see who that was who had the header, the glancing header that didn't quite get it right. It's the number 88, Pasalic, the cross coming, but their best chance really of the game so far.
Yeah, I was actually reading the comments on the YouTube stream, but I've just seen the replay. Should have done better there, really, but I'll take that so long as they miss. Yes,
we talking about that. We don't really have a very good record, do we, in these prestige, as they're often called, pre-season friendlies. The last one before season, even going back to when it was the Bobby Moore Cup and before that, I remember going over to the old ground and frequently leaving frustrated watching an Italian or a Spanish team walk away with the trophy.
No, I don't know why they have a trophy. Just have it as, because it's a bit silly, isn't it? It is. This be real. It is a bit silly because we never win the trophy. just have it as a what's the bloody word? My brain's gone. A prestige friendly, rather than having it named as a cup. The pre-season opener in association with Betway. It doesn't need to be a cup, for goodness' sake.
The ball's played out to the right to Yarmolenko, who's inside the box. He's turned inside. He's tried to pull it back. It's
Oh,
come across.
Benrahma. Oh,
Benrahma's tried the most bizarre header from about a yard off the ground, and he's tried to head it over the keeper, and he actually got it on target. But Musso once again took it quite easily.
Well, that was good play down there by Yarmolenko.
Yeah.
Left foot again. He didn't really know much about it, did he, Benny?
I don't think so. I'm not sure. It's certainly not one out of the
it was ping pong. It's come off the keeper's hands, the defender's head, and it's just hit Benrahma on the head, really, and it was an hit, I hope. But you've got to be in it to win it, I suppose.
Well, he's everywhere at the moment, isn't he? He's at the heart of everything. I just wanted to point out, just prior to that, we saw him again. Issa Diop went on some sort of lung-bursting 80-yard run. I don't know if you saw that. Won the ball initially at the back, and then ended up as a left winger. Didn't get the ball, but seems very keen to impress this afternoon.
He does. And there's a little Spanish wizard on the ball again now. Who's that? Oh, I can't see. Heads across, gone behind. I didn't see who made the cross though.
I think it was Fornells, wasn't it? Possibly. Not the best cross anyway.
It wasn't.
Antonio was about 10 yards behind it, I think. But good stuff from West Ham. We're coming up to the final 10 minutes of or we are in the final 10 minutes now of the first half. Still no goals, but promising stuff. Benrahma at the heart of everything for the Hammers so far. Looking really busy. Diop looking good at the back. Yarmolenko, who we felt was a little bit of a surprise to be included in the team today. Also getting involved quite a lot. Yeah, good stuff. Atalanta, as we said, a good Italian side, really been restricted so far, DL. Not a lot.
I'll go back to Yarmolenko. He's justifying his inclusion today, I think.
Yeah.
He's not really put a foot wrong. And he's looked dangerous. But we're nullifying them, aren't we?
Yeah.
Apart from that scuffed header about 5 minutes ago, they've not really threatened us at all. We've looked the likeliest of scoring, so we're likely to then go in at half-time 1-0 down, which is what we have a habit of doing. And so, fingers crossed, we can go in at 0-0 and then lift this prestigious trophy at the end of it on a penalty shootout.
Yeah, we don't lift many trophies, do we? So I was thinking about your earlier question about why do we do it. I think that's your answer right there. Yeah. It's probably the one we've got the best chance to win. We've just seen Benrahma once again. I mean, that's Italian defending for you, isn't it? Cynical, and it's a yellow card.
It is
often.
Yeah, that is typical Italians, isn't it? Have you seen the memes of the Italian captain going around? I'm still seeing new ones every other day of where he grabbed that young England player back by the neck.
Yeah, Saka. Yeah.
There
was one, not the one for the 100 meters, was it?
Yeah. And you've had the ones at the Aldi checkouts and.
Yes, it's just trying to see who the man in. Oh, that's Sunday League stuff, and it is Freuler. Yeah, who's gone in the book there. But sometimes you get annoyed and a bit frustrated, but something like that, I think you just got to laugh at it, just at the audacity of it, really, to try it on and not. Well, I'm sure he was expecting to get a yellow, but my stream's disappeared again briefly.
Yeah, with Sky Sport and OSD. I wonder if they busted him and they've.
My other stream. We're just seeing the. I'll go over to the other one, DL. You keep an eye on that one in case it comes back up. But on the other stream, which is a bit behind, I'm just seeing the player get booked actually. Freuler, I think it was, wasn't it, who got booked? But we'll stick with this one anyway. So we've got some commentary coming through. But West Ham have the free kick 25, 30 yards from goal. Cresswell is lining up. Benrahma's coming over to have a look with him. So we've got a left foot and a right footer there, I think.
Yep, we're back on YouTube. Rice is playing it out from the back. He's just played it out to our left. He's now back in possession with the ball back to. I can't bloody see. These people are so small. Fabianski, yeah, he's got a different colour top on, so I know who that one is.
I can tell you the free kick was eventually taken by Cresswell. And it was a really decent effort, actually. It was arrowing towards the top left-hand corner, but the keeper went up and it was a fairly standard save. He didn't have to do an awful lot, but at least it was on target. But anyway, we'll go back to the other stream now.
And Fabianski's long ball up. It's a little bit of a melee. And Diop again, he's just brushing these people aside. Oh, no, he's conceded the free kick.
Wasn't happy about it.
He doesn't. He doesn't at all. Let's see the replay.
That's nothing.
No,
like
there's
that.
nothing of it. It's
Madness.
just typical Italians going backwards on the retreat as usual.
We seem to have a stray Scouser in the stream in the live chat. I think.
Why is he stealing thing?
Stealing our bandwidth. Put it back. 40 minutes gone. 40 minutes gone. Still no goals here at the London Olympic Stadium. There at the London Olympic Stadium. Clearly, we're not there. And West Ham United nil, Atalanta nil. West Ham, the better of the sides, probably just about at the moment. We're just seeing Atalanta break and try and do something on the right-hand side. The stream's holding up again. The ball's played out to the right. This is looking dangerous. West Ham chasing back. The ball's going to come across, hopefully, at some point. Oh, no, the stream's died again. Oh, no, it's come back. Come back.
It's back.
This is fun. It's not going to be like this every week, everyone, by the way. In case you're they've won a corner. Atalanta have won a corner. In case you're tuning in for the first time, we are normally a little bit better in terms of following the game than this, but pre-season friendly and all that, no decent streams available. So we're sort of chopping and changing between the ones we get at the moment. The corner there won by Pasalic, who's been one of the more sort of notable players, I think, DL in the first half from the Italians.
Yeah, though to be honest, I'm not going to lie. I've not really taken much notice of them, to be honest. However, moving on, in the match thread, we've had Wig. He's saying beautiful from Fornos in the build-up, which led to nearly the Ben Rama chance, I think. 61 Dixie saying the game has come to life. Some very good football from Diop initially, and then Benny. Yep. Meanwhile, Wig's come back again and said, not going to lie, I miss Jesse loads. I think he may need counselling for that one. Hammer Jammer from this show, and you're absolutely right in reply to Dixie. Suts is asking questions if anyone's out there watching on their phone. Anyone posting from the stadium? What was it like getting in? And that's about it. We're nearly at half time and we're on page 6 of the match thread. So
very, very quiet, very quiet. I should tell you, we nearly scored a few moments ago while you were looking at that. We won a corner. Ball played it. It was another Soufal low cross and it cannoned off an Italian defender. Well, he tried to clear it and he sort of made a bit of a mess of it. And he managed to put it out for a corner, but he just missed the goal by about a yard. It's a little bit of a dangerous one. Anyway, West Ham have the corner. It's from the right-hand side this time. Might be West Ham's first corner from that side this half. It comes in from Yarmolenko. It's a 4 corner. It doesn't feel the first man. Well. Yarmolenko has it back again. He's volleyed it back in. Well, it's just made a complete mess of that one. Yeah, what was that all about?
Well, it's because I praised him. I've just cursed him.
Oh, shocker.
It was.
Shocker.
It was awful.
Yeah, he took the corner, which was an absolute dreadful corner, didn't he? It barely made the 6-yard box, let alone cleared the first man. Ball played out to him. He looked to hook it back into the centre and just put it straight out for a goal kick. Not one of his finest moments, clearly. 42 minutes gone. West Ham United 0, Atalanta 0. No real goal mouth action to talk about apart from that Ben Rama effort that crashed back off the crossbar. In the 31st minute of the game, Atalanta looking to build once again on the left, as they have done often in this game. It's Freuler once again, who seems to be the pivot of everything that they do. Plays it in front of him, the ball comes back, and West Ham still, and it's Diop again nipping in to play in Declan Rice. I think we haven't seen a lot of Deckers so far, but
no, was that Diop? That was 28. Who's 28?
I think it might have been a 23.
Was it? Looked like 28 to me.
So, well, Souček, if it's 28, then my eyesight's worse than.
Yeah, I think that might
well have been
Souček.
Anyway, Ben.
I think the difference being is that I'm 100% certain that the one that made the tackle wasn't. They had slightly different shades about them.
No, I think it was Souček who won the ball, but I think it was
right, okay,
Diop who brought it out. A little bit of miscommunication. You're absolutely right. I mean, as I said, if we get those two wrong, then I think I need to go back to the optician. So some newer glasses. But we just saw Ben Rama again at the heart of the action, chipping the ball into the box. No one on the end of it, unfortunately. But very, very lively is our Algerian international.
He is
so far.
Indeed. So's that little Spanish bloke though.
We like Fornals, don't we?
Oh, I love Pablo. He's amazing.
Yeah,
he's another one. I think if he can add a few goals to his game, he'll have a cracking season.
Space on the left now for Atalanta. The ball's played into the box. It's dangerous, but there's that man again, Diop on hand to clear it out. And they regain possession, but it comes to nothing. And now Declan Rice an opportunity to break out. That's superb work. That's superb from Rice.
Down.
Yeah, up against 3 players, and he made sure he won the free kick, but used all of his 22 years of experience there to win that one. But little bit of danger there from Atalanta on the left, but Diop again on hand to make sure it didn't come to nothing.
Yes, I think he's great. I like I'm being nice to everyone today. I can't criticise him. It's a stretch start for everyone, isn't it?
Yeah. I should say, if I can just break in there, DL, as our stream is running a little bit behind, I've also got Twitter open, and something's about to happen if you watch very, very closely. Now, we're going to find out how far behind the live stream we are because West Ham have scored. We've just seen Declan Rice play the ball through the centre to Antonio. Antonio loses the ball, but wins it again. It's chipped out. Ben Rama lays it into Antonio. Antonio's in. It's on the half. And it's in the back of the net.
1-0, right on, literally on the stroke of half time.
Yep.
Absolutely beautiful. Yeah, it was luck more than judgment, wasn't it? Let's be fair. It was. He is the new Colton Cole, isn't he, Antonio? You know, he does something absolutely calamitous that leads to a goal. He loses the ball. He gets in all 6s and 7s. We pick up the loose ball and wallop. He's the new Colton. Arise, Antonio.
the absolute perfect time to score. And as we said, Antonio, you know, it was burst through the middle, lost possession initially, and then a defender sort of tried to clear it, and it deflects off the heel of his own defender back into the path aside Ben Rama. Ben Rama just a little chip over the top of the last defender to find Antonio. Good thinking, good stuff by Ben Rama. Antonio takes it on his thigh, lets it fall onto his right foot, and it's a volley into the net. Side Ben Rama. Do you think perhaps last season he might have had a go himself at
Yes,
we saw him quite
without a shadow of a doubt. Without a shadow of a doubt. And the bloke in row B would have got the ball in the face.
Yes, but there it is. I think that's half time, 46 minutes and 23 seconds, and West Ham going to the break 1-0 ahead.
They are. And
deserved DL?
Yeah, on the balance of play, I think so. We've been pretty solid at the back. It's that man again, Diop, and obviously we don't need to say much about Rice because he just does what he does. Who's the other defender? Is it Ogbonna?
No, Ogbonna's not in the squad, is he? I think he's supposed to be back for next week, but Dawson is playing alongside Diop.
He's been quiet, but then when a defender's quiet, it shows the rest of the team are doing their job. So not going to moan at him about that. I'm going to put you on the spot now and leave you to feel 5 minutes while I have to go and do a couple of little
No problem at all. No problem at all. Well, I shall see you in a few moments when you get back in there. Hopefully, we shall be joined very, very shortly by Gnome, who is live at the stadium. And that should keep us going through the halftime break. But anyway, we go into the break. West Ham United 1, Atalanta 0. Just a few highlights to take you through from the first half. Ben Rama forced the first real shot of the game from the Atalanta goalkeeper Musso in the 26th minute. After a neat little 1-2 with Pablo Fornals on the edge of the box. 5 minutes later, he came even closer when our Algerian midfielder struck the crossbar with a lovely effort from just inside the box on the 31st minute. Pasalic should have done an awful lot better for Atalanta 2 minutes later when a cross from the left found him unmarked in the box, and he really just needed to guide the header inside the far post, but got it all wrong, and his header went wide of the post. The closest the Italians certainly came to scoring in the first half there. Ben Rama forced another bizarre header, actually, just kind of a yard off the ground from about 10 yards. Tried to head the ball in, which was easily saved once again by Atalanta keeper Musso. And then Cresswell had a free kick, 38 minutes, 7 minutes from half time. That was well targeted anyway. It was going inside the top left-hand corner, but once again, the goalkeeper had it covered. And then we just entered the first minute of added on time at the end of the first half, and Michail Antonio scored the only goal of the game so far. So Nice little goal. Antonio through the centre, tackled initially, attempted clearance by an Atalanta defender, cannon back off of a teammate's ankle into the path of Said Benrahma. Benrahma just looked up, chipped it over the top of the defender into the box for Antonio, who took his first touch on the thigh, let it fall onto his right foot, from where he volleyed it into the right-hand corner to give West Ham a very deserved 1-0 lead, we think, at the break. Or is it? Is it a deserved lead? Let us know. Let us know on the live stream if you're with us. If you're just joining us at half-time, salutations. I hope you're enjoying the game today. If you're watching it at the ground, or if you're just watching it on a moody stream at home. Talking of moody streams, we're about to be joined by one of our number who is at the stadium. We've managed to get through that tricky little section without any moments of silence, which is good, I suppose. It's Noam, and there he is. There he is on the stream. Looks like it's a sunny afternoon at the London Olympic Stadium there in Stratford. Noam, how are you doing, buddy?
Hello. I'm struggling here a bit, mate, but technology's against us. But yeah, interesting first half, mostly pre-season friendly.
Yeah, it's standard fare, in fact. But West Ham deserved to score that goal, we think, here after sort of not dominating, but pretty much enjoying the better chances in that first half. What about that effort? Going back to, we spoke about the effort in the 31st minute from Said Benrahma, the shot that hit the crossbar. What did you make of that from live at the ground? And he's gone. Just like that, it seems like we've lost Noam. We do have him here. We do have him here still on the stream, so I'm hoping he's going to come back up in a second. But we'll see anyway. I shall continue until we get no more DL back anyway. As you can probably just about see from Noam's picture there in the stream, it looks like it's a sunny day at the London Olympic Stadium, but it looks like the Wi-Fi is just as effective as it has been in recent years up there at Stratford, even though it's supposed to be a bit better this year. Noam's gone now. Hopefully we'll get him back for a little bit more conversation in due course before the second half. But as I said, let us know what you think of the first half, how it's gone so far. A few of you have done just that, actually. So I'll read a few of your comments out while I'm waiting for DL to come back or Noam to join us. Thomas Eldridge, hi Thomas, says we started poorly and a bit slow with decisions, but got into the game well. Grew into the game well. Sorry, I can see your little edit underneath there, Thomas. David O'Rourke says, I think we look very tidy. Expected a lot more from Atalanta, to be honest. Yeah, I think you're right, actually, David. Bearing in mind that, as we said, they finished third in the in Serie A last year. We thought they might be a little bit more of a challenge than they've proved so far. Haven't really tested Lucas Fabianski at all, have they? Let us know what you think of the first half anyway. Your thoughts on what you've seen. Going to have a quick look at the KUMB forum match thread to see what some of our regular members are saying on there. Bondholder Bubbles posting Bubbles 1966 saying that I thought they looked bigger, quicker and sharper. For 20 minutes, sounds like a Radiohead album track, that. But we've started to move it quite well in this 3-4-3 setup. Michail Antonio was the only one who looked like he was struggling, but a lovely finish from not a striker, from an exquisite pass by Benrahma. 3 with wing-backs certainly suits the squad's balance, he feels. Big Fat Sam posting also to say that Benrahma looks the bollocks. I know it's only pre-season, but he looks ready for the Premier League now. Something, of course, that we touched on in the first half, and definitely feel that he's been our liveliest player in that opening 45 minutes, but probably in pre-season altogether has looked very, very lively in some of the friendlies at Celtic and against his former club Brentford last week. Derby Hammer says, I'm quite impressed, really. We're looking like we're in complete control there. Lovely pass from Benny and finish from Antonio. Yarmolenko has looked quite useful too. Which takes me back to a comment just coming in on the live chat on the YouTube forum, in which Michelet says that Yarma very poor so far. So it just goes to show, we all see games very, very differently. Grasham up, some good to see you, Grasham, back on the stream again this year. Says, I thought Benny Yarma and Diop showed up well this other. And I think definitely for me, they're the 3 standout performers, weren't they, in that opening 45 minutes. Back to the KUMB.com forum match thread. Noodles says, this half Ben Rama has been absolutely world class, the kind of player that wins games. Definitely agree with that from what we've seen so far. The assist and, as we said earlier, hit the post, tested the keeper before that, been at the heart of everything West Ham have done in an attacking sense so far in this game. Wig saying, we do look like a pretty decent side. Couple of signings and we'll be mustard. That's, of course, the problem, isn't it? We haven't made any signings yet this year, outfield players. Anyway, the only first-team player coming in, Alphonse Areola, as backup to Lucas Fabianski. And we desperately need some more players to supplement what we've got out there. As you know, I think a lot of people have said this on the forum, haven't they? We've got a very, very strong-looking first team. But when you go beyond that and look at the squad, that's when you sort of worry, you know, we're a hamstring injury away from having no strikers in the team, lose Declan Rice, and, you know, you're looking at Mark Noble, who, you know, there's no doubt has been a wonderful servant to the club over the years, but you kind of worry about being forced to rely on him on a, you know, a match by match, week by week basis in the Premier League this year, being as he is 33 and getting no younger now. Jeff Hathaway says Atalanta have 3 or 4 of their better players on the bench, including 2 of the leading strikers. So we expect to see them in the second half, which is a very fair point, actually, Jeff. Of course, you know, it's not their best 11, like pretty much what you're seeing from West Ham so far. Metal Hammer said, I was grumbling about Antonio losing it just before he scored, and that happened. Scored the goal. And Stevie Potts goals reel on the KUMB.com forum match thread saying that Jack Grealish is the poor man's Ben Rama. Wonder how much that makes Benny worth then, if that's the case. Mafia Leader says we're going to win the cup. Be nice, wouldn't it? First trophy of the season after the first day. But of course, as we were talking about earlier in the half, there is indeed a trophy up for grabs today. It is the Betway Cup. The club's main sponsor putting that trophy up, and one, as Dio and I were saying earlier in the stream, one we haven't fared too well in over the years, either that or the Bobby Moore Cup. Before that, as I was saying, we frequently left Upton Park or the London Olympic Stadium frustrated and a little bit disappointed after these pre-season friendlies, but looking good today so far. Moby Dick is asking who is on the subs bench. I can go through both subs benches if you like, actually, while I'm waiting for DL to come back. On the bench for the Hammers this afternoon, of course, our new signing, Alphonse Areola, who I suspect we might see a little bit of in the second half. David Martin, who I'm not sure we will see any of, is our second goalkeeper on the bench. Ryan Fredericks and Johnson are our fullback substitutes today. And we've also got young Baptiste and Alves, who are our centre-half backups this afternoon. Mark Noble and Connor Coventry, who you would expect to see at some point in the second half. And Jared Bowen is on the bench, despite not being available last week when there were all those rumours flying about him potentially going to Liverpool. He's back in the squad today. And young Okaflex, who scored against his former club at Celtic in that rather incredible 6-2 win a couple of weeks ago, the last of those substitutes. Connor Coventry, of course, one player who we were expecting to go out on loan this year, and there was rumours of a sale to Peterborough this week, which seems to have been knocked on the head, as we understand, by David Moyes, who doesn't want to let him go. At least doesn't want to let him go on a permanent basis. So I suspect we might potentially see him go out on loan at some point in the next few weeks, especially if we can bring in another midfielder. But I guess in terms of priority with regards to reinforcements, you've got to be looking at centre half. Seems to be the most urgent need, given that Diop and Dawson are our only first choice centre halves available, a fit first choice centre halves available at the moment. And then, of course, another striker to supplement Michail Antonio. Our man, he's back in the studio. DL is back. I don't know if you saw any of that, DL, but we got known for about. I got to ask him one question, he started to answer, and then he promptly disappeared off the stream. So it doesn't look like the London Olympic Stadium Wi-Fi is any better than it has been in previous years.
No, it doesn't. And whilst we're on the talk of streams cutting out, I'm not sure if you've noticed on where we were getting our stream from, that it's unavailable due to policy violations. So we're going to need to get another one, basically.
Yeah, All good fun. All good fun. This is a bit like 2007 over again when, you were trying to find a dodgy stream and chasing around to keep one.
Very much. Lasted longer than I thought, to be fair.
Hmm.
Lasted much longer than I thought. But there we go. That's that. No, I didn't see Gnome. I have a wife who's upstairs struggling with setting up Isaac's Xbox, and she needed assistance. And I don't know what the hell's happened to my camera, but oh yes, because she needed the Wi-Fi password, so I've got it off the bottom of the router, and I've trashed my camera. Oh, while I was at it, so his Xbox packed up this morning, and we've still got 4 weeks of the summer holidays, so we've just had to rush out and get him another one because it's going to take 2 weeks to be repaired apparently. So no, it don't even bear thinking about it, to be honest.
Well,
oh yeah,
we've just been
an expensive morning.
Yeah, I can imagine. It's one of those things that, especially the frequency with which they seem to come out, these new models these days. It's an expensive hobby. I was just going to say that it looks like we've got Gnome back on the stream, and we've got his window come up, as I'm sure you can see down there. But no Gnome, it's still black.
I think maybe the lights have gone out. A la Crystal Palace back in the
Were you there that night? Do you remember that?
I remember the night, but no, I wasn't there. I wasn't able to get there, unfortunately.
I seem to recall we were trading 2-0 at the time, I think, and Frank Lampard had just scored, didn't he? Lamps Jr. just, I think it was the equaliser. I think it was 2-2.
Yes.
And
yes.
He reeled away to the old West Stand in celebration, and just before he got to the corner flag, because we were in the West Side, just before he got to the corner flag, all the lights went out, and that was it. And I fondly recall the replay game in which we absolutely smashed them off the park. I think we beat them 4-1, if memory serves. But
indeed, there weren't them murmurings that it was a little bit iffy, that it disappeared just after the equaliser, and there might have been betting syndicates and stuff like that involved. Do like a good conspiracy, mate. Don't normally believe them, but that was a bit iffy, wasn't it? Let's be real.
It was. I believe it was a Malaysian syndicate, wasn't it?
Yes, one of the Oriental countries with a reputation for things that are slightly dodgy.
Yeah, I have a stream. I'm delighted to report. I think the game. Oh no, it hasn't kicked off. It's just that I'm being attacked by a crazy fly, blue bottle at the moment. I'm not just waving my arms about randomly. But no, I was going to say it looks like the game started, but as I've enlarged the screen, it's just about 30 substitutes warming up on the pitch. So we are still at half time. Yeah, as I said, let us know what you thought of that first half on the live stream if you're with us. Welcome to everyone who's joined us at half time. Stick with us. It's been good, been enjoyable first half. West Ham leading 1-0 at the break. The only goal coming in first half injury time, Said Benrahma, finding Michail Antonio, who scored a lovely little half volley to put us ahead. And he's been bang on form, hasn't he, DL? Since we came back after the lockdown, he's just been unstoppable, wasn't he? As a striker.
Who, Antonio?
Antonio.
Sorry, I was reading the comments on the stream again. He has. It's just those bloody hamstrings of his. He's got everything. He seems to be the complete striker.
Yeah.
Apart from having hamstrings made out of pasta. Hopefully, he'll have a better season. Because if he stays fit, we don't need another striker. But if he stays fit, how many times we said that about West Ham strikers? That's the problem.
Yep.
And that's where I still want to see. I'm not wishing injury on Antonio, God no, but that's where I want to see Bowen. I think he's going to be a Craig Bellamy type, pain in the backside. Get a little bit of nastiness to his game as well, and cut out the diving. That was something that stood out for me last season. Can't remember who it was against, when he would have been better off running with the ball. He was dead centre, and he's gone to run, and the opposition players just brushed him, and he's gone down like a sack of the proverbial.
Yeah.
And why did you do that? Why? I know why he did it. He wanted to get the free kick, but we would have probably been better off if he just stayed on his feet and run with the bloody ball and stuck his laces through it. So yeah, if he cuts out the diving and gets a little bit more aggressive in his play, I think that he would make a good striker. I'm gonna bang this drum all season until I'm proved wrong.
I reckon you're right. I mean, he's certainly got the attributes, isn't he? He knows where the goal is. He's definitely quality. And of course, we know he did it at Hull before he came to West Ham. You know, he quite frequently played in that advanced role as well as the wingers role where we've sort of got to know him play. But the players are coming back out onto the pitch. Have you got a stream?
I think so. I'm a bit beyond the players coming back out on the pitch. I'm at 45 minutes 25.
Okay, you're well ahead of me. You have to send me the link to the latest stream. So
he's just cleared it upfield, and we have got one of our players. Yarmolenko is chasing it. He's taking it up to the byline. He's got the ball across. Looks like it went out though. Yep, it's gone out. It's a goal kick to Atalanta. He looks knackered already, does Yarmo, and is he hobbling a bit? Looks like he might
I have no idea because they've not even kicked off on my stream. Would you be so kind as to send me that link you've got so we can?
Yes, yeah, it's Footy Pass on Twitter.
Okay,
basically, that's where I've got it from.
Okay.
Not that I'm advocating people do that, but the chap has kindly given us a thing, and it's in the public domain, so give him a little bit of exposure. Sod it.
Why not? Why not? Indeed. I'm watching golf on that YouTube one we were watching before, but I'm going to stop that now because I will definitely run out of bandwidth. There's the rain outside. Right, I'm on 46:51.
Oh, so you're ahead of me now?
Am I?
I'm 10 seconds behind you.
Okay, well, there you go. Wonder how that works. Oh, I've just pressed the wrong button and it stopped completely.
He probably lives next door to you.
I'm just going to have to lean over and shut the window here because the rain started to fall and it's like a false 10 gale out there, and this might knock the computer off the desk if I don't. So bear with me. I'll pass the reins over to you for a second, DL.
Okay, let's get back on the match then, hadn't I? There's people standing about, stroking their hair. They're now walking around. Number 66, Lovato, is now gone into a jog. Ah, that's nice. Not a lot happening really. They've just taken a free kick out to our left, and they're taking it again. Number 59, and there's raised voices from upstairs, so I'm going to shut the door as there's going to be a meltdown. I'm not sure who by at the moment. And the free kick's being retaken. Declan's doing his regular pointing. He's good at that. And it comes to nothing. It goes out for a goal kick. John Moss.
48 minutes gone. We're back now. Yeah. That's heavy rain up there. 48 minutes gone. West Ham United lead Atalanta of Serie A by 1-0. The only goal of the game so far coming in first half injury time from Mikhail Antonio, West Ham's super and one and only striker. That's at the moment as West Ham look to build from the back. We did for those of you joining us late today. We did try and it's just the two of us today. Rio unavailable. As I said, Bristol Hammer stuck somewhere on the M5. Gnome at the game. We tried to get him on at half time, but
no, he's got it. Oh, long ball back up our way. Antonio didn't quite have the pace to get it. It was a hard ball. Didn't know he played it, mind you. And here goes Benny again. Now it's with Rice and Fornals and Ben Rama again. This is on our left. And that's now through to Souček, who's pinged it out slightly to the right. Diop to Yarmolenko, who's doing his funny little footwork doodah that he has a habit of doing. He's played it back to Dawson. No, he hasn't played it back. Yeah, it was Dawson. Cresswell has taken a long ball up our left, and Atalanta are back in possession, and they're coming back at us. No, they're not. They've gone the other way. It's that number 88 bloke again. That was a good block there by Antonio, to be fair. And now Yarmolenko has mugged it, and he's been mugged himself.
What's the time on your stream? Because I think I'm watching a different game at the moment.
49:37 now.
Oh, okay. I'm still about 10 seconds ahead. I don't know if you can hear this up here, but it sounds like the roof's about to come in. But I can barely hear the stream. It's so loud. This bloody rain outside. This is what it's like living up north. See, you don't get this down south in Kent and Essex.
Oh, we do.
Sometimes you
It
do,
was.
of course.
You've got what we had this morning. It was awful. Absolutely awful. My cat came to the window while I was chucking it down, and he actually looked like Sonic the Hedgehog.
West Ham have a free kick. It's delivered into the box. Goes through a crowd of players, and the ball is grabbed gratefully by Musso, the goalkeeper. Didn't really come to anything. That 5 minutes into the second half here. Sounds like we've got biblical showers outside where I am, but it's unfortunately it's a lot nicer down there at the London Olympic Stadium at the moment by the looks of him. Atalanta breaking on the left-hand side, now looking to come back at the hammers. The ball's plays back into the channel. Looks to play it between a couple of players, but West Ham are too cute for that one. And West Ham win a free kick as Thomas Souček is put on the deck by an Italian who looks a little bit mystified, but not quite sure why he should be, because it was quite clearly a foul. 51 minutes gone, DL.
Yes, they're reading the comments on our YouTube channel. We have a chap from Laos who supports Man United. So, hello. You can come and support a real football team rather than be a glory hunter, and you will be wounded for life if you do.
Come and join us.
And as Moby Dick has said, local support. Well done.
A London club, not just for local people.
Absolutely.
52 minutes gone now. West Ham United 1, Atalanta 0. West Ham have a free kick again. Thomas Souček. We haven't seen a lot of Tom, have we, so far, DL? He's been sort of reasonably quiet in this one.
He has, but again, the position he plays, he's just going about his business, isn't he? Without getting too much involved. He's not doing no fancy stuff. It's what he does, isn't it? He's just grafting. A long ball up, Antonio's running for it, but you've probably already seen it. So, what's the point?
I have, but everyone on the stream might not have. So, no problem at all. No problem at all. It didn't come to nothing, unfortunately. I'm just watching Atalanta build, and everything that Atalanta does seems to be coming down this left-hand side so far. I don't know if that means they haven't got an awful lot of confidence in the right-hand side, or whether they just think that Aaron Cresswell is an absolute demon at fullback, and they're a little bit scared to attack him, but not much coming from that flank at the moment.
No, which is in a way surprising, because that was where we were targeted last season. Maybe their manager doesn't know the left and right, and he'd instructed them to attack the wrong side.
Yeah.
If it was the missus, that's what she would have done.
Just coming up to 53 minutes played. Atalanta in possession. West Ham backing off, just holding their two lines there. Declan Rice steps out of it to put pressure on the mark, and now it's Ben Rama, and the ball is played back to the centre circle. Atalanta building patiently, but just really not troubling West Ham at all. I mean, we said this in the first half, didn't we, DL? And the opening 8 minutes of the second half has been pretty much the same. We've just actually seen Declan Rice steal the ball 35 yards from goal. Looked like he might be away on goal, but the defender did a very good job of standing up to him and just managing to get a tackle in. Declan Rice is actually feeling a bit of a challenge there. He's sort of limping away and grimacing at the same time. We hope, of course, that there's nothing wrong there. But good stuff from Decazé. You would have seen that by now, of course.
That was a good tackle, actually. Who is he? Can we sign him?
We could do with a couple of those, couldn't we?
Yeah. The throw-in's been taken, and we made a hash of that. And it's now back with Fabianski.
54 minutes gone. Still West Ham United 1, Atalanta 0. Just coming away from the game briefly to let you know that one of the ITKs that is featured regularly on the KUMB.com forum summer transfer thread this year, Pedro Almeida, is claiming that Lukaku's move from Inter to Chelsea has been completed for a fee of 115 million euros. 5-year contract with a salary worth around 12 million euros a season. That'd be nice, wouldn't it, mate? You could just about live on that, couldn't you?
Yeah, round about that. Yeah, I might have to tighten my belt a bit, mine. So that's actually broken the British transfer record, isn't it? We've had it broken in the last 2 days when everybody's supposed to be skint.
I'm not sure, actually. It's 115 million euros. And what does that equate to in pounds? It's going to be very close, isn't it? I think it might be just under 100 million pounds. We're just seeing West Ham break here on the right-hand side. It's Yarmolenko's look for Antonio. He's fired it in to the near post. And he's actually aimed it straight at Antonio's head. Not a lot that Mikhail could do with that. Great run. And he's actually laughing about it now because it looks like, sorry, it wasn't Yarmolenko, it was Soufal, who burst down the right-hand side in space and played the point to the post. But a bit of a comedy moment there. Yeah, I mean, he could have had a hole in his head there, I think, Antonio.
He could have. He'll be sub soon for concussion.
Yeah, I'm not sure if we can class that as an effort on goal or not. But
Carlton Cole would have scored that because it would have come off his arse.
Yeah. No question whatsoever. That's definitely where you need a Carlton in situations like that. But it comes to nothing anyway. But good stuff. We're just seeing the first changes of the game now from Atalanta. It looks like they're making 3 or 4 changes. I'll try and let you know. It's Duvan, who is, as I mentioned before, number 91 was one of the players West Ham have looked at previously. Number 28 is coming on. Unfortunately, and disappointingly, in fact, the starting lineup that Atalanta have given us, the team sheet, doesn't include numbers for the substitutes. So after they make this raft of changes, we're not going to know who half of the players are, unfortunately. We'll just have to give you their numbers unless the BBC...
Demirao is number 28 that's just come on.
Okay.
And we've got an Italian-looking bloke coming off.
Figures.
Turn around. Number 9 coming on. Oh, he's got some funky hair, dude. 32's coming on. Come on, stop running so I can see what it says. Pessina or something? I don't know. Yeah, Pessina, by the looks of it. Isn't that a swimming pool? I don't know.
No idea.
Duvan, number 91.
Yes, I wonder if it'll take him a while to bed in.
Ah, boom. That was like as lame as one of mine, to be fair.
Bit early in the season for puns, I think we'll have to watch that. But
have
yeah,
you not been reading the forum?
Well, which particular bit?
Oh, the areola, Fred. Come on, we all know where that went.
Oh God, we did all that last year, though. I think we exhausted those in the 2 games against Fulham last year, or the areola. So I'm not sure there's any new ones we can do, where we can go with that one.
Yeah,
it did make me laugh though. We've been linked to one of the Barcelona players this week, Samuel Umtiti, and there was a story about Areola and Umtiti last week, and that we did on KUMB. We were just trying to find the third part to that that triangle, but it didn't happen in the end, unfortunately. West Ham again have just burst down the right hand side. Antonio. He always looks so tired, doesn't he? He seems to sweat buckets, this lad, and it seems to do it from about the 3rd minute. Whenever you watch Antonio playing, he seems to lose. I mean, I remember going out many years ago, back in the day, and you'd go out on a Saturday night and you'd come home 8 hours later, sort of a stone lighter. But I just wonder how much weight Antonio loses every football match, because it seems to be an awful lot, given it must be an awful lot given the amount he perspires.
I reckon he loses a couple of kilos, but he's. See, that's where he'll never match Colton, because he will never have a steaming head.
Yep. I mean, out of this world, wasn't it? The steaming head.
That was just unique. Brilliant. It's one of those seminal moments in football history that supporters of other clubs will just never ever understand.
Yeah,
that was the game in the snow, wasn't it?
It was.
The one I missed.
It was indeed.
I had tickets for that, and it was my birthday, and we got snowed in. The in-laws took me to Harvester at Gravesend for my birthday, and we was then going to get the train from Gravesend, but then all the trains got cancelled. Then all the snow came down, and that was that. Oh, they just had a shot from
out. You've just seen it, haven't you?
Yeah.
It's the closest that Atalanta have come to scoring anyway. A shot coming in from the edge of the box, which whistles past the post. Number 91, whoever that is, unfortunately, number 91 isn't on my list. Is that Zapata possibly? I'm not sure, but I mean, it's close, isn't it? It's no more than what 18 inches wide of Fabianski's space. But looking at the replay, DL, I get the feeling Fab had that one covered, actually.
He did, yes, I would say that he did. And going back to something at the beginning, which I didn't realise I had the tab up, I've just completely forgot about it. He scored Falbert. He scored 2 goals for us, one in the league and one in the FA Cup.
Amazing.
No, both in the FA Cups.
They were that memorable. I can't remember either of them. Can you remind me what they were? Against who?
No, I ain't got a clue. Hang on, let's look on it. Let's look on his Wikipedia page.
Yeah, or Soccer Base is usually pretty good. Anyway, we've just seen West Ham concede a free kick. We're at the hour mark. We're 2/3 of the way through this prestige, no less, pre-season friendly between West Ham United and Atalanta of Serie A. 60 minutes gone. West Ham United lead 1-0, the only goal of the match so far coming in the first and only minute of added on time at the end of the first half from Michail Antonio. Atalanta are looking a little bit brighter now, though, I think, DL, since they made those changes. We've just seen another, I think it's a pass, actually, but no one on the end of it, just roll innocently past the far post. And Fabianski, again, it didn't really trouble him, but West Ham are going to have to be a little bit careful here, aren't they, if they want to take this prestigious trophy at the end of this game? Yes,
they're looking a bit more dangerous, but our defence is holding up. To be honest, I wasn't looking, so I'm trying to find out who he scored against, Falbert, and it was against Hull on his 50th appearance.
Wow.
His first goal. He doesn't say who he scored against in the FA Cup, though.
Okay. If anyone knows, let us know. If anyone on the live stream remembers who it was that Julien Faubert scored against, his other goal, not the one against Hull, on his 50th game for the club, do let us know, because we can't remember, and I haven't got the time to open up the tab on Soccer Base and scroll through this afternoon. 62 minutes gone. West Ham looking to break on the left-hand side. It's comes to nothing, though. But Pablo Fornals working like a Trojan, as always, putting his opponents under pressure. The ball's played across the box to the left-hand side and played up the flank, where it is immediately lost by one of the substitutes, number 9, whose name I can't see from here. And West Ham have a throw-in about 35 yards from goal. DL.
Yes. So I was distracted by something on Twitter that's made me chuckle. That's not suitable for broadcast. Sorry. Look, there's an Atalanta player limping. Looks like Fredericks is coming on for us.
Yep. Declan Rice is applauding the fans as he goes off. So it looks like a straight change.
Yeah, Fredericks, Johnson, Bowen, and who's the other bloke? Everyone's going to panic now that Rice is coming off. That's it. He's getting ready to go to United now that the transfer window's in full stream. Cresswell coming off? Yeah, it looks like Aaron Cresswell's coming off. Or does it? Or has he just gone to have a drink?
Antonio is coming off. Souček off. Antonio off, definitely. Johnson on. And, Noble is on. Coventry, I think, on as well. So a whole... is that 5 subs? Is it 5?
Yeah, Johnson's coming on. So, yeah, I think that's, what's his face? Cresswell's coming up as well.
Looks like Yarmolenko's come off as well. Not that you would have noticed, given how much influence he had on the game after about the... So I can tell you now that it's Noble, Bowen, Fredericks, Coventry and Johnson are the 5 players on the 5 going off the pitch. Declan Rice, Lucas... it can't be Fabianski. I'm looking at West Ham's tweet. It says Fabianski, Antonio, Soufal, Yarmolenko and Souček. That's 6 players. So unless Areola has come on and we haven't seen it, just having a look there. That is, I'm not sure. I've not seen it. I don't know if Areola is on. The West Ham feed is saying that 6 are off. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it's definitely 6 off, but they're only saying 5 are coming on. So unless we're playing with 10 players and without a goalkeeper, they've omitted to mention that Alphonse Areola is on the pitch. I don't know if anyone's managed to stream yet.
My thingy's gone wrong. My Zoom's playing up now.
Okay, I can see you fine. You're good here.
There we go. Good. Got it back. No, it disappeared. I've put it as stay on top, but it hasn't.
Areola is on. I can confirm that
Yay.
Alphonse Areola is on the pitch. 6 changes for West Ham. Coming on, Areola, Johnson, Noble, Bowen, Coventry and Fredericks. They're replacing Fabianski, Sufol, Rice, Antonio, Yarmolenko and Thomas Souček. So, yeah, 6 changes for the Hammers. It's almost a completely different team. And 65 minutes gone, 25 to play then. Everyone's going to be given a run out this afternoon by the looks of it, or most of the players. Perhaps David Martin, the only one who's likely to miss out, because you wouldn't expect to see a second goalkeeping change in there today. But 65 minutes gone. West Ham still leading by 1-0 up at the London Olympic Stadium there this afternoon.
No, we weren't on the bench. Our little Argentinian mate. Forgot about him.
Or Masuaku.
Oh, he's a bit of an enigma, isn't he? What is he? He's turning into the new, what's his name? Who's that player we signed that just disappeared?
There's been a load of them, hasn't there?
Nigel Quasi. Yeah.
Where's Quasi? Yeah. Well, we had a few, didn't we, over the years? Who's the Davenport, wasn't it? The guy who got stabbed in the leg.
Callum Davenport. Who's the other one? We signed from Rangers. Played about 5 times for us, didn't he? And disappeared.
Oh, not Dale Gordon.
Yes.
Oh, that's going back a few years.
That's the one.
Yes. And of course, you've got Whitbread, who came from Swindon, was it? And in the mid-90s, Adrian Whitbread, who looked like being a really good centre-half and barely played, only played a couple of games. Kieran Dyer, of course, who can forget Kieran Dyer, who didn't have an injury, bad injury record until he got to West Ham. One of those myths that's often repeated, but of course he broke his. I think it was at Bristol City, wasn't it? In a
that was horrific though, wasn't it?
And it killed him. Yeah, it was an awful break, and that was the end of his career basically. We're just seeing West Ham look to count to break on the right hand side.
Oh yeah, there's a game
comes to nothing. Pablo Fornals has fallen to the deck. He's crumpled in a heap actually there. I'm not sure if he perhaps took an elbow or something in the ribs, but he was in possession and got tackled and just fell to the floor in a heap. But he seems to be getting back to his feet now. So that's good, I suppose. But West Ham retain possession, looking to break on the other side now. Mark Noble, Mr. West Ham, plays the ball short to Ben Rama, who plays it back to him, but doesn't because it's intercepted. Simon Webster, Moby Dick has pointed out. There you go. Another blast from the West Ham's unglorious past. Another player who promised much, but disappeared into obscurity. 67 minutes gone now, and West Ham still hanging on here. But we haven't seen a lot from the Hammers, have we yet? In the first half of this second half, have we, DL? It's been
we've not. It's all a bit disjointed, but when you change half the team, it's going to be in it. So, and of course, everyone's probably well aware by now that speaking of Mr. West Ham, Mark Noble. The longest serving one club player throughout all of the top leagues in Europe. So now Messi has left Barcelona. Where do you think he's going to go, Messi? I think he's going to go to City, and I think they're going to not bother with Harry Kane, hence why Kane released a statement yesterday.
I don't know. It looks as if PSG are in the driving seat, doesn't it? But you certainly can't count out a City bid, knowing that Pep Guardiola, of course, the history there between them. You would expect. I think if you're looking at that, you're looking at the best player in the world still, even at his advanced age. You still got to be thinking a club that like Manchester City have got that sort of disposable cash. Those chances don't come along often, do they, to buy a player of that?
No, not at all.
At least inquiring, anyway.
And I'd love to see him in the Premier League. I really would, just to see. It's a shame that he never ever got there when he was in his real prime, because although he's still the best player in the world, he's not quite as good as he was. But yeah, we've got the best league. We've still arguably got the best league in the world, and it needs players like Messi in it just to test themselves, I think. So if he does come, it'll be interesting to see how he gets on. I'm not going to go around the wet Tuesday night in Burnley, because he'd tear it up. I think one of those players that still tear it up there. So I know it's obscene, the amount of money, but I actually hope City get him just so we can see him in the Premier League for no other reason.
Yeah, it'd be nice, wouldn't it, to see him, strutting his way. I mean, of course, we've seen him at West Ham before, haven't we? A few years ago.
When the Argentina International at Upton Park.
Indeed. Was it
And,
against Croatia, I think, that night?
I think it was. I think it was indeed. Yeah, and of
Yeah.
course you've got to remember he had his Scott Parker posters up on his wall as well, didn't he?
Yes. Nigel Quasi posters, of course, as well. So we've just seen a poor back pass and Jared Bowen's nearly in, but Pablo Fornals has got a chance now on the edge of the box. He's played it out wide to Fredericks. Fredericks looks up, goes down the line. He's got a chance to put it back. He does so, but it doesn't quite reach a West Ham player, and Atalanta defender manages to get ahead on it. One of the substitutes, I don't know who it is. It's number 28. Can't tell you what his name is, unfortunately, but West Ham have a corner. Decent chance there, though, DL, for the Hammers.
It was a decent chance, but Fornal should have pulled the trigger there. I think he should have pulled the trigger. He had sight of goal. But seeing some of his shooting last season, he probably made the right decision. He got a corner out.
The corner is, it's a strange one. Played 20 yards out to Noble, who plays a very clever, threads the ball through to Jared Bowen again, who took the corner, but Bowen is tackled. The ball comes out to the right-hand side again. Noble looks to play in Fornals. Fornals has picked up the ball on the right. The cross is going to come in now. There it is. Up goes Dawson, and it's headed over the bar. It hasn't actually gone out of play. In fact, it's still in play. Ben Johnson keeps it alive on the left, but Dawson is down. Looks like he might have gone over the top of someone and fallen awkwardly, but treatment required. And this is not good for the Hammers, is it, DL, to see one of our remaining centre-halves holding his head and rolling around in agony on the floor.
Oh, he's probably doing that thing he was doing last season. That inexplicable thing where he goes down in the first half and then there's nothing wrong with it.
That's right. Yeah, that was weird, wasn't it? It was very, very strange. What was that all
It
about?
was odd. It was odd. Now this one looks like it might be genuine. I don't know. Maybe it just needs a rest.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if it's not his ribs, because they're taking their time over him. I'm just seeing the replay now. The ball's come in, and I think it's probably his ribs, or either that or his. I mean, he's gone down on his back, and as you or anyone who's played football before will know that falling on your back from.
That was a bit of a clatter.
Very painful. Yeah. You did get clouted there, but hopefully it won't be anything that keeps him out for too long anyway. Let us know anyway on the live stream what you think of the game, how it's going so far. We're into the last 20 minutes now. West Ham still maintaining that very slender advantage, 1 goal to the good against Serie A Atalanta. Dawson is sitting up again now. He's still doesn't look very happy though. There's more changes coming from Atalanta anyway. While we're doing that, it looks like 2 more changes for the Italians are about to be made. So chance for everybody to take a breather. Pablo Fornals is receiving some instructions from David Moyes from the bench, or from the touchline anyway, which is about 1,000 yards away from the bench. As you will know, if you've been to the London Olympic Stadium, and Dawson is coming off. He's up on his feet and he's jogging over to the touchline anyway. So it looks like he's going to be okay to continue, which is good news, I suppose, for the Hammers.
It is indeed, considering we're down to the bare bones.
Considering we haven't got anyone else.
That's with a full squad as well. Yeah.
Yeah, he's come back on now. He's jogging back on. He's taken his customary few seconds off the pitch, as is the way they do it these days. And Atalanta get us underway again. They have possession deep in their own half. Defender looks up and plays a long ball, a la James Collins used to do under Sam Allardyce. One of those diagonal passes towards the opposing 18-yard box, and they managed to retain possession. It's played into the area, and it's a poor ball though, and West Ham it's Dawson actually manages to hoof it clear to the halfway line. The ball is played all the way back to the Atalanta goalkeeper, and they have possession again. DL, we were saying, weren't we? It's been pretty quiet in this second half, and as you say, when you see these many substitutions made in a game, it really doesn't make for good viewing, does it? It spoils the game. And, there's no continuity.
No, none at all. I get the purpose of it, but at the end of the day, that's what pre-season's for. This should really, in my little humble opinion, be treated like a league game, because we're playing a league game next week. This is a dress rehearsal, so to speak. Give the people the 90 minutes. Yes, you've got people risking injury and stuff like that, but you got people risking injury next week as well. You know, you can't not play players in case they break, unless it's Andy Carroll or Antonio. But for the rest, no, just keep the team, do the game management like you would a real game, because next week's the real thing. So I get why they want to give people a run out, but at least our man there on the screen or on my screen, Benny's getting a good run out. But he's been pretty quiet this second half. I think he's had his little flourish. And I think that was what I found frustrating with him last season. He'd have spells in a game where he was good, and then he'd disappear and invariably get hooked. So maybe he should have actually come off, because he's been a bit anonymous this second half. Says me, he's moaning about the amount of substitutes, advocating someone being substituted.
Well, there's more happening now.
There is.
Del Prato and a couple of other players whose names I can't quite see at the moment coming on for the Italians. Scalvini is one of them. The goalkeeper is being replaced. It looks like that's Sportiello coming on for Musa. That's a great name for a footballer, isn't it? Sportiello. What a superb name that is.
Sounds like some cheap Italian car, doesn't it? Really. The new Fiat Sportiello.
The new Fiat Sportiello. £1,999 on the road. Yeah, 4 changes. I think that is for
rust included.
I think Aaron Cresswell looks like he's actually counting up the players to make sure that there's the requisite number of white shirts on the field at the moment before he takes the throw. But he's about to launch it into the box by the looks of it. He's not. In fact, he's thrown it short to Said Benrahma, and he's instantly surrounded by Atalanta players. And I think he's given the ball away. I think that's an Atalanta throw. No, it did come off Cresswell, but West Ham have been awarded the throw, and it's given back to Mark Noble on the left flank. Plays it short to Ben Johnson. My stream decides to hang up while we're doing that, but no, we're off again. And it's a throw into Atalanta anyway, right down deep in the corner by their corner flag in their own half. Who's that warming up now? It's one of our youngsters warming up. I think that might be Alves actually warming up. So that could potentially mean that they're not taking any chances.
No, he'll be
going to sub him. Yeah. We'll keep an eye on that one and see what happens. But it's a very, very scrappy game. I mean, if you haven't got the stream on and you're relying on us for commentary, then I'm afraid there's not an awful lot to tell you. I just have to pause for a second, DL, because we've got someone spamming the chat.
Yes.
I'm going to have to get rid of.
I think he may be a fan of us. I've just a hunch.
Hide user. There you go. He's gone, and all his messages have gone. We're into the last 13 minutes here anyway. I think Dawson's just gone over the top with the header again, and it's almost a replica of what happened a few seconds ago. I'm waiting for the camera to. Oh no, he's okay. He's up. He's all right. He's a warrior, this boy, isn't he? He's been through it. Craig, what do you make of Craig Dawson, DL?
I like him. He's a no nonsense pro. He's a 7.5 or 7 to 7.5 out of 10 player every week. He makes the odd ricket, but again, I'm of the opinion. No, if you find me a defender that doesn't make a mistake every game, then he ain't going to be playing for West Ham, is he? He's going to be playing for. He's going to be playing for the world-class teams. Yep. I sometimes think players get a lot of stick because everything is analysed nowadays in such great detail that you don't get away with making a mistake, and then people use it against them to say that they're rubbish. When every player makes a mistake, even an £80 million defender with a square head makes mistakes now and again, and he's one of the best at his job. So, I think he's. Like a lot of players that we have, they're not perfect. They play for West Ham. If they were perfect players, they wouldn't be playing for West Ham. And I think it makes the game a lot more enjoyable when you let certain little bits ride rather than, oh, for goodness sake, he didn't get that pass right, or that could have led to a goal. Well, so what? He didn't. Just enjoy it, because we don't get. How can I put it? He's the last of a dying breed, I think. Bit like James Collins, the blood and guts defender, rather than someone who's a
throwback. Yeah, very much.
Yeah, so rather than someone who's all silky skills playing it out for the back, and our generation, we appreciate grafters like that. It's the younger generation that have been brought up on the tiki-taka of Barcelona and stuff, seeing the ball played out from the back. And he's, make the most of him, because we're not going to see many of him in the future. They're dying, like the Andy Carrolls of this world, I suppose. The FD number 9, they're a dying breed. You don't see many of them now. And I used to, when he was on form, I used to love watching Andy Carroll. He was a beast.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But again, you're not going to get players like him no more. And even Colton, Cole, you're not really going to see strikers of his ilk.
No.
Anymore.
No, not at all.
The big brick proverbial number 9 up front. Again, dying breed. I think the nearest we've got nowadays, I suppose, is Harry Kane. He's sort of a mixture of both, isn't he? He's like an old number 9 mixed in with your modern silky striker, I suppose, which is why Man City or whoever are looking at spending ridiculous amounts of money on him.
Totally agree. Yeah. But football is a different game now, isn't it? That sort of old fashioned. I'll just pause for a second because I've seen a cross coming from the right hand side, but it's easy for the Atalanta keeper, comes to nothing. The days of when we were sort of growing up and you had the little and large teams, the Cotties and the McAvenis, players like that. It's a different game now, isn't it? The systems are completely different, and there isn't a place for players like that in the modern game, unfortunately.
No, I mean, where would Jeff Hurst have been if he was in the modern game? I wonder, because he was the archetypal big bloke number 9, wasn't he?
Yeah.
It does make you wonder. Maybe football always does, doesn't it? It goes around in circles. So maybe they'll come back into fashion again at some point in the future. Who knows? I'd certainly enjoy watching the big beast up front, smashing the buggery out of defenders. But it's, again, the rules have changed. You can't be the old man anymore, can you, on the pitch?
No.
We were lucky.
I know he was never. I was just going to say, I know he was never one of ours, but I always used to enjoy watching Duncan Ferguson, big, ugly,
Yeah, he was a brute, wasn't he? He was a brute.
Absolutely.
He was a pleasure to watch. He was. I've always liked a big number 9, and hey ho, nostalgia. There is a game on. I don't know if you remember.
Well, there's another substitution happening.
Oh, is there?
Darun it's not one of ours, unfortunately, or fortunately, as the case may be. Number 60, who is Deriva, is replacing number 15, Darun.
They've got to have.
I've lost count of how many subs they've made.
They've got to have subbed some subs, surely.
They must have made. I'm guessing it's 8, 9 now. It's got to be something like that. I don't know. I've completely lost.
I ain't got a clue. Let's see if Twitter can enlighten us.
Yeah. But anyway, we're into the final 10 minutes. We're actually into the final 8 minutes of the game now. West Ham still hanging on to that slender lead. It's 1-0 to the Hammers. The only goal coming in first half injury time from Michail Antonio, who went off. I didn't actually make a note of when they went off, but I think it was about 65, 66 minutes. West Ham made their substitutions. There's only been one tranche so far, but we made 6 at the same time. Alphonse Areola is on, of course, on the field, just touching the ball now on my stream, making his debut for the Hammers. What do we think of that signing deal? I mean, forget the fact that we haven't brought in any outfield players yet. Do you think that's a good signing to make, and you think he's one we can perhaps look at as potentially the West Ham goalie for the next 6-7 years, perhaps?
Oh, absolutely. I rated him. I did rate him. He kept us 0-0 against Fulham, didn't he? If it wasn't for him, we would have won that game. No, I think that's a cracking bit of business. Loan with obligation to buy, that suits me. I'm happy with that. A slight aside, by the way, Joe Root's just hit his 100 for England. I think it's 252 for 6.
England struggling a bit, weren't they? I didn't see what the Indians scored in the end, but I'm just seeing a couple of messages come through on Twitter. Ian Bell saying that's a magnificent 100 from Joe Root. The shots, the context of the match, the strike rate, such fantastic batting. Young players should watch his movement and the rhythm in his innings. So good.
He's beautiful to watch as well, Joe Root. When he's on it, he is brilliant.
Are you a cricket man?
Not really. I don't mind the odd test match. Since I've moved over here, I've not really followed cricket because
Yeah.
I kind of feel alien because I'm in Kentland. Whereas when I was younger, I used to go with my old man down to Chelmsford and watch
Yeah.
it and with Gucci and stuff. So Ilford as well. Used to go up to Ilford. I used to work in Cranbrook Road in Ilford, and sometimes on my lunch breaks would last for the afternoon, really, and we'd end up sitting in the Ojima Flip in the park there, watching the cricket. Lovely days.
Yep.
Not no more.
Yep.
So yeah.
I must say, used to enjoy the odd visit to Chelmsford. Never a regular visitor, but yeah, always like watching a bit of cricket. We've just seen a lovely shot coming back to the football. Just seen a lovely shot there of Mikhail Antonio, Fabianski, and Declan Rice sitting on the sidelines enjoying a drink. But back to the game. Saeed Benrahma's been played through on the left hand side. He's 1-on-1 as he goes into the box. Two tricky step overs, plays it outside to Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson looks to pull it back for Jared Bowen, but the substitute goalkeeper, who I believe is Mr. Sportiello, reads it rather well and prevents West Ham from doubling their advantage. We're into the last 5 minutes. It's still West Ham United 1, Atalanta 0. About time, really. I guess we should start talking about potential players, man of the match. So if you're watching on the stream, if you've been watching the whole game, do let us know who you think was your best or West Ham's best player of the day so far. Of course, there's still a few minutes left to go, so we could see a bit of magic from someone to change your mind. But yeah, let us know. Start having a think about it at least. Issa Diop's done very well out there today. Saeed Benrahma, of course, the goal scorer, not the goal scorer, the goal provider for Antonio, who was the goal scorer. Some decent performances. Pablo Fornals has worked extremely hard out there today. But let us know what you think. For your choice for man of the match as we enter the last 4 minutes of the game.
Yeah, my man of the match, who would it be? I'm going to go. Yeah, I'll go for Diop. Actually, he's had a solid game. Hopefully, carries that into the season because he's one of those players I really will to do well because the amount of hassle he gets on the forum. So if he has a good season, I'll go on the forum game there. In my own little way.
He's had a good game today, hasn't he? There's no doubt about it. You know, he's
been solid.
Yeah. Stepped out, anticipated some through balls, stepped out when needed to do. And of course, as we mentioned in the first half, went on that marauding 70-yard run out onto the left wing, which didn't come to anything. We've just seen actually one of the players that I mentioned there, and actually David O'Rourke has suggested this is man of the match. Saeed Benrahma's just had a shot that wasn't too far wide. Didn't really trouble Sportiello, whatever his name is. Sportiello, of course, I should say. But one of the first chances West Ham have had for a little while. We're just seeing Atalanta break into the box now. Looking, there's an opportunity. Shots coming from the left-hand side, but it's high and wide, and Areola doesn't have to. Isn't troubled at all as we enter the last couple of minutes. David O'Rourke, there you go. David O'Rourke agrees with you, DL, saying that Diop was a good shout for man of the match today.
Oh, blimey. Oh, cheers, dude. No, Benrahma seems to have picked it up again. He's had his quiet phase, but while we were talking, he done a little mazy run. He started off the one where Johnson, didn't he? Tried to cross it and the keeper grabbed hold of it. So, yeah, he's livened up again. Be good to see him get a goal. Be good for his confidence because this is probably the toughest opposition we ever had. You can't include Celtic because they were. It's just come up on the Twitter feed that Benrahma has been named the official man of the match. So,
well done, Saeed.
Indeed,
I think you're right. I think there was probably for me, probably the same as you. The two real standout candidates today was Benrahma and Diop, both excellent out there for the Hammers today, really putting a good shift. And these are two of the players, as we were saying, dear, wasn't it, that if we're going to have another good season, these are two players that are going to have to really perform this year. Lots of question marks about both last season, really.
Yeah, I mean, Diop hasn't really pushed on since his first season. His second season, I think, it was the second Pellegrini season, wasn't it? And there was a lot of, we've scored.
Sorry, just to cut in there. Pablo Fornals has made it 2-0. It's Ryan Fredericks, as you'll be seeing this probably now. Ryan Fredericks, a lovely run down the right-hand side, dropped his shoulder, as if to say he was going to come inside, didn't, carried on down the right, pulled the ball back, a little header in from, I'm not sure actually. Is it? I think it's Ben Rama who had the header.
It was, yeah.
And,
That's his second
Fornals has finished it off. But anyway, it's 2-0. We're going to win the cup.
We're going to win the cup. And that's Ben Rama's second assist as well. So, yeah, he must have heard the news. So we thought he'd get in there. He's done a couple of those little funny headers today, isn't he?
He has.
2 foot off the floor.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Did Pablo get the final touch there? I'm looking at this replay to see whether he did or not.
I think he did. Yeah, I mean, he wasn't the header.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
That bent the net like that. So it must have been Pablo.
Either way, West Ham are 2-0 up.
Yes.
That's we're seeing the bubbles now. The bubble machine is going full tilt. And no doubt everyone at the stadium has had a very enjoyable day. You'd expect this afternoon.
But how quick is Fredericks?
Yeah, brilliant.
He's still got that pace, isn't he? He's still got it. If he could stay injury free, he might. He's somebody we don't really talk about, Fredericks, because of the season that Soufal had.
Yeah.
And it's ironic how it works, isn't it? If he hadn't got that injury, we wouldn't have had Soufal. But if he can keep his self-injury free, he'd be a good option to have like we had against Villa, doubling up with Soufal, because his pace is electric. From a standing start, I don't think there's going to be too many more quicker than him in the league. And in the modern game, that's what you need, isn't it?
Very much so.
Train him up on his left foot and all. See how good he is on the left.
I mean, that's the thing, isn't it? I remember at the start of last year, we were doing these streams, and we spoke frequently about Frederick's pace, and he had bundles and bundles of it. But I mean, the game's over now. We've just the final whistle has gone, and West Ham are about to lift the Betway Cup. But yeah, I mean, that was always the thing with him, wasn't it, DL? The final delivery was sadly lacking too often, and if he can do more like that, then who knows? He could force himself into the first team reckoning. He
could. Say it's a new season. Hopefully the slate is wiped clean with everybody, not just with us, but with the supporters as well, because you've got to remember the difference being this season now. We are going to have fans in the stadium, and we are a difficult bunch to play against. If we start playing in front of, I meant to say, because if we start getting it wrong, we do have a tendency to get on the team's back or individuals' back. So I'm hoping that where we're still flying relatively high from last season, the good buzz and the vibe of a new season and the fans being back in the stadium, it's out of both the fans and the players to get a good atmosphere going for early doors in the season. Because if we have a bad start to the season, I can see it getting toxic, not just against the team, but towards the board and everything else. So, yeah, that's my only concern for this season, is that the atmosphere might change pretty quickly if we don't get off to a good start. So, fingers crossed, we've won a trophy. Hey.
There you go. Can't be bad at all. I mean, it'll be interesting to see actually what sort of reception Sullivan and Gold received this afternoon. I mean, obviously it will be muted now because West Ham have won. You'd expect that had the game gone the other way, it might have been even worse. But yeah, I mean, if you are at the stadium tuning in, or if you've just left, we'll hopefully get to speak to Noam at some point, and maybe you'll be able to tell us. But let us know what it was like over there. If there was any sort of dissent or anger expressed at the board and the lack of signings this season, because there's certainly been an awful lot of it, hasn't there, DL, on the KUMB forum and across social media in recent weeks.
Yeah, there has been, and I think the fans have got every right to question, especially as it is so late in the window now. I'm trying to be the eternal optimist, thinking that there is going to be some business late on in the window. Our esteemed friend Ironing Board, who is a David Moore's fact sheet, is constantly banging the drum. That's when Moyes likes to do his business. It's when he says he gets better value for money. I hope he's right. Yeah. When it comes to Moyes, to be honest, as much as he's so repetitive, he's generally bang on the money with Moyes, isn't he? I'm sure they're related somewhere along the line. But give him his dues. He's not usually wrong about how Moyes operates. He's been pretty spot on about how we play and stuff once he came.
Yep.
So he's clearly done his own work on the bloke, regardless of the fact that he sometimes comes across on the forum. I think he means well. But anyway, hopefully he is correct that we're going to get we'll do business late in the window, because there can be bargains late in the window. Players that are realising, no, I ain't going to get a game. How many games we're playing? 2, isn't it, before the window closes? People like Lingard will know whether they, within once the season start. Although he's got his COVID now, so that kind of puts the cat amongst the pigeons a bit. I think we'll pull something out of the bag before the end. If we don't, then give the board as much stick as we possibly can, because I don't think there is the money. I'm not expecting £25 million signings. I'll be surprised if we sign people for double figure millions.
Yep.
But I think we could do some astute business on the loan market. I'm not sure what the free agents are like out there at the moment. But I'm sort of the opinion the season starts next week. The free agents, apart from Messi, they would have been snapped up by now if they were any good. So we'll see. We'll see. I'm not going to spit my dummy out just yet. We've still got 2 weeks to go. So patience,
Yes.
as they say.
No, I think you're right. I mean, we certainly do tend to do business as a club late in the transfer window under these owners. But anyway, the final whistle has blown at the London Olympic Stadium. The match has finished West Ham United 2, Atalanta 0. A goal coming at the end of each half for the Hammers as they secure the Betway Cup. And I think we're going to see, we might just, I don't know if the stream will hold out. We'll see the Hammers hopefully lift the trophy. The first of hopefully 2 or 3 this year. Yeah, that would be a bit ambitious perhaps, but you never know. You never know what's going to happen. The opening goal of the game coming in the first minute of first half added on time. Said Benrahma setting up Mikhail Antonio for a half volley, which gave West Ham a half-time advantage. Just 12 minutes or so after the Algerian had hit the bar with a thunderous effort just after the half-hour mark. And we had to wait an awful long time for the second goal to arrive. It did come in the end. It was in the final minute of regulation time at the end of the second half. Ryan Fredericks motoring down the right-hand side, pulled the ball back for Said Benrahma, who provided his second assist of the day. I think it was probably a shot that Pablo Fornals got a little touch on to divert it back across goal, giving the goalkeeper no chance.
Who's Noble with there? Is it Alves?
Where's Noble? No, that's is that Jamal Baptiste? I think possibly.
Oh yeah, might be.
Yeah.
Might be. No, he dragged him down the front to
okay.
help him with a trophy. He called him down.
That's lovely.
Singled him out.
Yeah.
So
that's a lovely touch. There it is. West Ham lift the trophy.
Indeed.
As I said, hopefully the first of many. DL, it's pre-season. It's a friendly. You're never going to get both sides, especially this close to the start of the season, going hell for leather. But what did we learn, if anything, from what we've seen today?
What I've learned from it is there's quite clearly the team spirit is still there from last season.
Yep.
That is there. It's all smiles. Even if we'd lost, I think that would have shone through. So I don't think it's simply because we won a friendly 2-0. I think there is, which to me, I think team spirit is so important. It's like being in a workplace. You just need one rotten egg, and somewhere that was once excellent to work is all of a sudden a chore getting up every day to go and see. And that's again something that Moyes has instilled into the squad. Again, nervous about the lack of bodies, but ability, performance-wise, I think that we're still there. I do still think, from what I've seen, we looked a bit shaky at the back against Celtic, but we didn't really have the protection that we had today, missing Rice and Souček. So I think we'll be all right. We are short of bodies. That is really my only concern going into the season. No striker, a little bit short at the back. Other than that, I don't see any glaring holes in the squad. I really don't. Apart from striker and left back, striker and centre back.
Yep.
which should be addressed. I'd even go and sign another winger so that we can have Bowen as a centre forward.
Interesting. Okay, well, we'll come back to that in just a minute, actually, because I think we'll just want to have a quick chat in a few moments about potential signings before next week. But before we do that, let us know, what did you take away from that game today? Steve Palmer says team spirit, definitely. He took that away as a positive. What else did you see that made you perhaps a bit more hopeful for the coming season? Not that we have any reason not to be hopeful. We've got the Europa League and the Premier League, as well as the two cups to tackle this year. So it's we're all looking forward to a good season. But yeah, let us know, what else did you take? Did you see any glimmer of hope? Was it perhaps a player who stood out for you today that you've been hoping would look good this year, or was it just something like the team spirit, or the tactics, anything like that? Let us know what you thought. I'm going to have a quick look before we carry on at the KUMB forum, DL, just to see what some of the natives are saying. Are you on there as well at the moment?
I'm on there now. Yeah.
Okay. I'll go over to you then. You can
back to 4:50 10 minutes ago. Ethan Addington. There's only a few minutes left, and he's enjoyed it. And he's right. He says it was actually a professional performance. I don't think we had anyone booked, did we? And didn't really give away that many free kicks, which again, you can't really judge too much on a friendly. But we kept our shape. The back four kept in shape. The midfield kept shape. And he's spot on when he says, I'm just trying to get on to the next page, but it's just loading up a little bit slow.
Yep.
Which will change in September, I've read.
Yes, apparently so. We're on the move again. Yeah. At least that's the plan. We have a 2-week window at the end of August and into the first half of September, when we're hoping to move to a new server, which should make things a little smoother, perhaps on match days, which we seem to a bit of a problem.
Bondholder 59 said, I love a good moan, but who played badly today? Well, nobody really. If you had to pick one, someone I was advocating for the way he played towards the middle and end of the first half was Yarmolenko, but even he doesn't deserve the criticism because he put a shift in, which is all you can ask. And that's all I asked for, put a shift in. And he did. Everybody played well. Bubbles, 1966, excellent performance, all played well. Some blokes posted a YouTube link that looks like I'm about to run away from the set. Who we've got here? Chinner's impressive display, incisive, direct passing, good pressing and intensity. Ben Rama and Fornell stood out. Yeah, I agree with that.
Yep.
What we got here? Mafia leader, Championis. So we'd best not upset him as he's the leader. Puff Daddy, we'll scroll past that one. Pezza, Billy Smart probably licking his lips after that. Dave, look, you beat a Champions League team 2-0 with ease. You really need those 3 or 4 signings. Oh, you old cynic, you. But yeah, I think I might be inclined to agree. A good pre-season that from our gift meister. A little too good, maybe. And what we got on page 10.
Well, I can tell you actually, because I'm there now rather than.
Oh, there we go. You crack on. You have a go now.
Well, there's not a lot there actually. There's only a couple of comments so far. But Bonzo's Beard says that our subs all came on and looked great as well, which is a good point actually, because quite often you find that when you're playing your first team and you make a succession of subs at after an hour or whatever, that things tend to fall apart. But I think we sort of mentioned it or alluded to it, didn't we? That West Ham didn't look any worse for wear, even though we'd made, 6 substitutions, wasn't it, at the same point after about 66 minutes. So that's good. And just coming back to what we were saying, we were asking people to let us know what they took out of today's game as positives. And Chris Bowen says that I think Ben Rama's beginning to show his quality. Chris writing on the live chat on YouTube, saying that his confidence will grow given playing time. I think that's a very, very fair comment. And Acid Joke continues on the same theme, saying that Ben Rama clearly growing in confidence, Fornell's growing in strengths, and Coventry growing into the first team? And that takes me nicely into something I wanted to ask you about, actually.
Yeah.
A lot of talk in recent days and weeks on the forum about Connor Coventry and whether he can contribute to the first team effort this season. Obviously been linked with moves out on loan and potentially, going out on a permanent basis, which we believe or we understand David Moyes has knocked back. What are your views on young Connor? I mean, he's, 22 now, I think he is. Same or very similar age to Declan Rice, hasn't managed to break into the first team yet. I've seen a lot of comparisons with people saying he's a bit like Josh Cullen in that he's always been on the cusp, on the periphery of the first team, never really managed to get in there. Do you think this is potentially his breakthrough season?
I don't like saying things against our youngsters, but when our managers had to block a move to Peterborough, I think that really says all you need to know. Really, when you've got Peterborough coming in for you, I hope it goes on like a lot of our youngsters. I don't like seeing our youngsters go, but I'm also proud of the fact that the lower leagues are littered with players that have come through the West Ham Academy. You've got to be pretty special nowadays to get with the influx of the foreign players when the Premier League and the Sky money first started coming in, it has reduced the opportunities for the young players because we've been able to go out and buy talent cheaper from abroad. Yeah, talent that doesn't arguably mean that they're better players per se, but they're different players. They're more technical, and the game's evolved. So to break through as a youngster nowadays, it's very, very hard. But you can still go on and have a good career in the game. And that's what I think Coventry's going to be one of those. Another Josh Cullen, another Freddie Sears. The list is endless. You've got Dan Potts. You've got Luton that is full of West Ham, ex-West Ham players.
Ex-West Ham, isn't it? Yeah.
So just...
And all that played there.
I don't think he's good enough for the Premier League, but he's a good enough player who, again, we can follow at a lower league club. It's yet another one that's come through our conveyor belt that's going to go on to have a good career in the game, which makes me happy. So,
yep. I mean, it's I think he's very, very talented, clearly, but as you say, the step up from playing under 23s football and then going out on loan to becoming a first team regular at Premier League level is enormous, isn't it, these days? Simply because we have the pick of the best players in the world, essentially. There's only a handful of players that are really out of our reach, and it's always going to be tough for any youngsters to break through in those circumstances. But we hope he does it. Of course, he's one of our own, and he's
absolutely,
and we'd love to see
absolutely.
him. But
again, I'd be proved wrong. But there's many players that get released. Look at Dean Garner. This time last season, people were like, oh, my God, what a mistake we've made. And then come the end of the season, he's barely featuring for West Brom, and we've just qualified for Europe. We're fans. What do we know at the end of the day?
Exactly. Some other fans and friends of the show and long-term visitors to KUMB, the Three Hammers, whose show I've appeared on a couple of times in the past, good friends of the show and loyal comers, say that the first 11 is fantastic. If we can add some depth, we could have an excellent season this year. We appear to have a game plan now, and every player knows their own specific duties, which again is pretty similar to what you were saying, I think, DL, a few minutes ago. And Acid Joke says, I agree with Three Hammers. We have a shape nowadays, and all the squad seem to know what their roles are. The subs slotted in really well. So, yeah, I mean, everyone's unusually positive. I mean, it's funny, isn't it? On the one hand, everyone's really disappointed, I think, with the transfer business or lack of that's been done so far this year. But we've watched West Ham in pre-season. Of course, you can never look at pre-season and take that as a barometer for what's going to happen in the coming season. But as we know, if you look back at the Avram Grant season,
oh God, yeah,
game didn't we in pre-season and ended up finishing bottom of the top flight for the only time in our history. But of course, the one thing it does engender, I think, is that sort of winning mentality and that positive sort of attitude in the dressing room. If you're winning every game, you go out feeling good, don't you, about next week?
It's the winning mentality. Whether it's a pre-season friendly against a non-league side or like today, winning is winning. It gives you a buzz. It's and with the team spirit we've got. But you don't mind just reversing a little while, you was talking about Josh Cullen and Connor Coventry.
Yep.
Somebody had flown under the radar, as the cat has said on the YouTube chat. Ben Johnson, another academy product. He is a deceptively good player. I was singing his praises last season, if you remember. But to me, I think he's the real deal. Obviously, Rice is one. He's verging on going to be world class. But I think Ben Johnson is going to be not world class, but I think in a season or two, I think it'll be us talking about hoping we can keep him, because I think Ben Johnson will be the real deal. What is he now? He's 20 now, is he?
21. I mean, this
21.
is the thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
He's 21. He was 21 in January, so he's still got quite a way to go until, we're going to be talking mid-season before he reaches his 22nd birthday. And he's one of those kids that, let's say kids at 21, but young players that seems to have been around for years and years, doesn't he?
Yeah, there was third season was it under Pellegrini? He made his debut, wasn't it? I think. Oh,
it would have been. I'm going to cheat here because I've got his stats up here, but I think his first game was it was in that 2018 against Bristol Rovers. I think he made his debut in the 2-0. Oh no, that was sorry, it was at Man City, wasn't it? Against Man City.
Yeah, that's right.
In the 1-0 defeat, he came in, and so where are we? February 2019, 2.5 years ago. So yeah, like I'm saying, he seems to have been around a while, but he's another one that's on the edge, isn't he, of the squad? And last year he sort of started well and then went off the boil a little bit. But I think you've got to remember he is still only 21 years old.
Yeah, and he's going to be a phenomenal talent. He's where I'll be putting my eggs into one basket with, to be honest. We can't compare the age groups to what Rice is. He's an anomaly, you got to look. He's like Noble, who just somebody has come into a squad at a very, very young age and taken it like a duck to water.
Yeah.
Ben Johnson. Oh look, we've got a gnome in a mask.
I was just about to say, speaking of phenomenal talents, well, we couldn't find any of our own, but here's gnome. How you doing, buddy? How did you? How was your day?
Yeah, very nice day. Dad's first trip to the new place. There's Jeff as well.
Hi, Jeff. How are you?
Good, thank you. Dad's meeting in the corner there.
And gnome senior.
He's brave and alive. So,
what did you? What's your over? What did you take? We've been asking people what they took from today's game. What did you make of it, really?
Very, very much a pre-season friendly.
Yep.
Not entirely sure. I'm very unfamiliar with the opposition, so I'm not entirely sure if people were selecting the number 88 and 99 shirts of choice, or if they were literally that far down the pecking order. But as the first half wore on, we looked the better side and had the better chances.
Yeah.
Second half was just a bit of a mess, really. As I think everybody got swapped, didn't they? I think apart from, I understand we missed the second goal because I've got to get these back to deal with engineering works.
Yeah.
So we were halfway across the bridge as the second goal went in. But much is to be expected. Hopefully no injuries, which is the main thing. And hopefully something a little bit more up-tempo when I go up to Newcastle next weekend.
If you, again, as you know, because you're usually here in the studios with us every week, or our own studios, bedrooms or whatever. But we always ask for the team's man of the match. Who stood out for you particularly today?
Ben Ramos stood out. I think he got the man of the match in the ground as well. We could hear that being he left. So he looked sharp. Antonio was sort of putting himself about a little bit, and I wouldn't argue with Ben Rahman myself.
Okay, good stuff. We also felt that pushing him close for that man of the match award was Issa Diop today. We felt that he looked pretty good, and another one that of course all of us have been quite concerned by in recent months, but we thought he did a good job today. Did that come across live at the stadium as well?
Yeah, he looked tidy enough. Yeah, I'm not sure how much more of me you're going to get because the tube's about to leave. So
okay.
Yeah, DL played well. Dawson did all right as well, I thought. Yeah. But again, pre-season friendly, everything's got to be tempered by that, really.
Of course, of course. I mean, one question I did want to ask you, I'll get this in now if we're potentially going to lose you shortly. We wanted to know if there was any abuse or anything hurled at the director's box, because there was sort of rumours of it coming up.
Not that I noticed, no.
Okay, good stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, no, just not that I noticed anyway. I mean, if there wasn't, I certainly didn't hear it. So.
Okay, you said it was pretty much standard pre-season fare. What do you think we learned, if anything, from that game today? We said Ben Rama.
Yeah.
And I think that could be the end of known DL.
Not literally, obviously. That would be quite hard. But
but that seems to work well.
There we go.
Yeah, I think I'm about to go. So I'm going to wave goodbye because things are getting a bit flaky here. So,
all right. You take care, buddy. Love to the family, and we'll catch up again soon.
Bye.
That's no. I'm sorry, dear. I was going to throw it over to you to see if you had any questions for Noam, but unfortunately we've had to let him go anyway. But yeah, so I mean, are you surprised at all that there was no sort of dissent or anything shown inside the stadium, but towards the directors?
No, I'm not surprised because it was a lovely summer's day. It's the first time the ground's been full for absolutely yonks. And I've said before, I bump into when I'm out and about. I wear a West Ham top and stuff. I go to hospital appointments, and I talk to people who are in the waiting room that are West Ham fans. Turns out they're season ticket holders, and I think the level of distaste, disgust, hatred for them, or whatever that you see on social media, on the forum, on Facebook. I don't think, apart from a loud minority, I don't think that the hatred is there among the fan base as a whole. And I think other people have alluded to that before as well. I don't know, it's strange, but to be fair, I don't think today was the day. Today was about taking the kids to their first game and stuff like that. See how the season starts. As I say, that's what I said earlier. We need to get on. Now all the supporters are back, we need to have a good start to the season, because if we don't, which we didn't last season, we lost our first two. Now, whether we would have had the season we had last season with supporters in the ground, and again, this isn't a criticism of the supporters, it's what football fans do. Before we got our first win, we came off the back of two defeats, selling Grady D and Garner. It wouldn't. I don't think it would have gone well. The atmosphere would have been toxic. And again, before, if people want to, have a moan and say, "Oh, you're blaming the fans for our poor," no, it's not about. It's not about blaming supporters. It's how things go. It's simple as that. We would have been within our rights last season after two defeats in our two opening games, getting back to the ground and getting on people's backs and stuff. It's human nature. It's what we do. That didn't happen. And we turned it around, and we've had the best Premier League season we've ever had. So this season, we need to get off to the good start. We can't be losing the first two, because it might start turning a bit nasty, and it wouldn't be against the fans. It wouldn't be against the players. It'd start turning on the board, and then overall the atmosphere in the stadium will start to become toxic, which nobody wants really. Regardless of your feelings about a board, we just want to see the team do well. That is it. That's the bottom line. Yeah,
that's a really good point. I think that's something that is quite frequently lost, isn't it, amongst all the noise, is that, everyone is sort of, wants the same thing at the end of the day. It's just that I think we have different ideas about how we can get there. But interesting anyway to hear that from Noam. So everyone's happy today. It's a great start to the season, although that's kind of tempered. I've just seen one of KUMB's, I say KUMB's writers. He used to write for the Sun, and being a member of various other West Ham websites. Terry Land has just tweeted to say that known better by many of you as Amox, a man of constant sorrow, has just tweeted to say, West Ham unbeaten pre-season, Newcastle away in the first game. When did that last happen? Checks notes. Oh, don't expect a home win before Christmas. And I think that was the year I think we lost 4-0 there on the opening day of the 2002-03 season. I think what Terry's referring to.
I remember
the game that was moved to a Monday night. No, of course, will constantly refer to this one because he had tickets to go and watch the game on a Saturday, and I think Sky moved it about 3 weeks before the game was actually played, and he ended up going up there still. And I think he watched. I'm not sure who it was actually. Symphonia Billingham or something like some bizarre name team, and we had a match report on KUMB from a game with about 300 people out, which was quite amusing. But yeah, of course, that was a terrible defeat, and of course we kicked off last season, didn't we, with a defeat against Newcastle. Let's look ahead now to that game deal. It is the opening game of the Premier League next week. It doesn't look like we're going to have too many new signings to show off there. So, you know, what we've got is what we'll have by the looks of things. Newcastle, there was a poll. We did a story on KUMB this week where one of the betting companies did a poll of supporters of each team to see who was most enthusiastic about the coming season. West Ham came in 7th. Despite the fact that we hadn't, bought any outfield players yet this season, the fans were still pretty happy about what they'd seen and optimistic about the coming season. Do you want to guess who was bottom of the table for optimism?
Spurs.
Well, I've kind of given it away. It was Newcastle.
Oh,
they did a similar poll last year, and they were bottom last year. Again, I guess that's something to do with the having Steve Bruce as your manager and what's his face as chairman? I've forgotten his name.
Mike Ashley.
Yeah, Mike Ashley, of course. Thank you, as chairman. They're not happy, but it's a cliche, but it is a tough place to go, isn't it, St James's Park, especially on the opening day of the season. They're a fanatic bunch. I know Newcastle very well, and they are fanatic about their.
Oh, absolutely. Newcastle were one of our bogey teams anyway. I can't recall many victories against them. Obviously, there's the 8-1, was it, with the Alvin Martin hat-trick.
Yeah.
But there's not too many more that stand out. They seem to have this hex over us.
Yeah.
As Geordie Hammer would probably testify, he hates it when we play them, and it's. I think our record against them is pretty abysmal, isn't it? If you, I could Google it, but can't bother.
You carry on, and I'll do it while you're.
Fair point. But we seemed like last season we should have got points, but we didn't. We should have got a win. That last one, but before was it? That's the one where Balbuena got sent off, or was it the one Dawson got sent off? No, I don't know. We got
Dawson. No, it was Dawson last year, wasn't it? We when we lost 3-2, sent off in the first half. I'm saying this as if I'm reading this off, but I'm actually looking at it on the screen. Sent off in the 36th minute, of course. How could you forget?
Yes, but no, they're just a bogey team. They're another Everton, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. You just don't seem to beat them that often, no matter how good or bad we or them are doing. Wasn't there the one when Lazaridis scored the winner?
Oh, well, that was we drew 2-2, didn't we? And he scored that screamer, didn't he, from about 30 yards, whenever that was at 96, 97, I guess that must have been.
God, blimey, 30 years ago. Good Lord. We start feeling old.
Yeah, I know. Do you want to hear the head-to-head?
Yeah, go on.
Okay. We've beaten them on 42 occasions.
Yep.
Every single one in the league. Haven't ever beaten them in the cup. There's been 38 draws, 36 in the league and 2 in the cup. And they've beaten us 57 times. So 15 more wins compared to ours. 54 in the league and 3 in the cup. Of course, as we said, they did the double over us last year, 3-2 at their place and 2-0 at ours. And sort of going back to that horrendous day in 2002, 2003, Monday, the 19th of August, to be precise, when we went up there and lost 4-0. But yeah, definitely one of those clubs. You're right. They are another Everton, aren't they? Or even a Reading, I suppose.
Yeah. I thought the gap would have been bigger, to be honest. Yeah. There's only 15 more. That's what's that? That's still 7 years.
Yes.
just like 7.5 years
Yeah.
before we can get level. So yeah, it's that. Yeah, they are a bogey team, aren't they? Who we got after that, by the way?
Is it Palace, isn't it? I think. You've caught me on the hop there. Now let's have a quick look at the fixture list. No, it's Leicester before Palace. It's Newcastle away, Leicester at home, Palace at home, and then we go to Southampton. And I think the game after that is the first game in the Europa League.
So
decent start though.
Yeah, although we absolutely hammered Leicester twice last season, which was pretty stupendous. We were, each time we played Leicester was in the middle of us having we was up. We was really up when we played those. We was going through a good run of form. Now we could quite conceivably go into our third game of the season on 0 points again, which is where you get the old jitters. Because they're not easy games. I know there's no easy games in the Premier League, but Newcastle away, Leicester at home when it's still relative unknown quantity. Yeah, that is a little bit, a bit like treading on a plug kind of thing. Yeah, you wouldn't really want it. You'd want a nice, easy one, wouldn't you? Really?
Yeah.
A trip to Newcastle and then, I don't know. Even Palace, we used to regularly beat them, didn't we? But the past few years, we seem to be drawing quite a bit with them.
Well look.
They nick a win as well season before last.
Yeah, we've not had a particularly good record. This is a good question, actually, DL. Just come up on the from Graham Upson asks, who do you think regards the Hammers as a bogey team, if any?
Yeah, maybe
We're going to have to think about this one now, aren't we? I mean,
maybe Tottenham.
Well, yeah, I mean, they would be, wouldn't they, of recent years? We've certainly got a better record. And, of course, there was that time in the noughties when we finished above them, 3 successive years, I think it was. And, we obviously the Lasagna Gate game and, we've had a few decent results. But I was trying to think, Fulham maybe?
Yeah, got Fulham.
Watford,
it used to be Palace. I know Palace used to think we was their bogey team, but they've started turning it around. I've got a couple of Palace mates at work.
Yeah.
And they're over the moon that they, we don't beat them as regularly. So I suppose Fulham, but didn't they? Was it the season before last again? No, their last season, wasn't it, before they got relegated? Did they beat us? I think. So that was.
I'm struggling to think of anyone who we've really got the hex over actually,
and
until you sort of start going down the football pyramid a little bit, and I don't know, but even then it's quite worrying when you look at teams like Wimbledon and clubs like that, and Reading, I suppose, and the others. But yeah, I don't know. Well, let us know on the live chat. Is there anyone you think that, Gresham, you asked the question. What do you reckon? Can you think of anybody that we can look at as a favourable fixture, perhaps, and think, yeah, that's 6 points on the table? But I mean, in terms of talking about 6 points on the table, deal, the 3 teams that have come up this year into the Premier League. Brentford, Norwich, and Watford. What sort of, how do you rate them in terms of the calibre of the players they've got there? How well they're going to do? Do you think Norwich, this is the year they can finally manage to shake the hoodoo and sort of stay up for a couple of years? And again, Brentford, it's new territory for them, isn't it? They've not been in the top flight for a long time. And what do you make of those 3 clubs?
I think this is the weakest 3 promoted teams coming up that I've seen in a number of seasons. Every time, usually when you get someone coming up, you look and you're like, oh, yeah, shame they didn't stay down there kind of thing.
Yeah.
But this season, I wouldn't be surprised if all 3 go back down. Personally, they don't really stand out for me. I think if anyone, it would probably be Brentford. I think would stay up because it's their first time in the league, and I think they'll do what a lot of the first timers in the league do. They play the first half of the season on adrenaline, and then they get enough points on the board, and then they pick up with the odd shock and things like that. Because every game for them initially is going to be a cup final.
Sure. Yeah.
And I think they may be okay, but the other 2, they're just the perennial yo-yo clubs, aren't they? And it's who you've got to see who are they going to be better than already there. And aside from maybe Burnley, but they've got Dyche as a manager who can always, pull a result out of the bag, even if it means him sticking 10 players behind the ball kind of thing. So, no, I can't see it. Maybe Brighton. I think they've been in the Premier League too long. They're one of those clubs, aren't they, that are not with all due respect to them, that to me aren't a Premier League club and who will eventually fall out of the league. Maybe that's because they're another bogey team for us as well, so they can go.
Yeah.
I don't see.
What is it? Eight games or something in a row we've not beaten them for.
Yeah.
But what about Southampton now? They've lost Danny Ings.
I don't think that Southampton are going to be any worse than Watford or Norwich. They're going to be there or thereabouts down the bottom, but I don't think they're any worse than Southampton or Norwich, Watford or Norwich.
Yeah.
So I think they'll scrape by. It's just I don't know. I can't see any of the current, the ones that finished the end of last season. I can't.
Yeah.
I can't really see any of them going down. To be honest, maybe Brighton, maybe Burnley, hopefully Palace.
And I suppose we're going to wrap up there anyway. But what about West Ham? It's difficult, as we've said all throughout the stream. You can't really base pre-season or base a theory or a prediction on what you've seen in pre-season. But it's gone pretty well, and we know we have a very strong first team. Where do you think the Hammers can or are likely to finish this year?
I think we can finish in the top 7 or 8. I think we can do that. Whether we will, I don't think we will. I think it's going to be an average West Ham season. I don't think we're going to be anywhere near relegation. I think because of the added pressure of the added games of Europe. So apart from winning the thing, I can't see us qualifying for Europe next season. We'll finish, I think, anywhere between 12th and 7th, maybe.
Okay.
Nearer the top. I'll be happy with the top half finish. To be honest, I'm not setting the expectations on. So I'll be happy with that. We need to. If there's no more signings at all, then where do we prioritise? Do we prioritise the league or do we prioritise the Europa League? Which then makes you think, well, why bother prioritising the league if you're not going to give Europe a go? Because what's the point in? Do you know what I mean? Trying to do it.
Absolutely.
So it's you're stuck between a rock and a hard place on that one. Get a few players in, I think we'll be all right, and we'll be in for a good season. Currently,
and what about the Europa League? Do you see us getting out of the group stage, and then could we potentially go any further?
It's a difficult one to answer, isn't it? Until we know who's in the group with us.
It is, and also until you know what squad you're going to have as well.
Yeah, exactly. I can't make predictions on that. I mean, based on the squad, until I know who we're playing, the draw may favour us. We might be lucky and get one of those groups where you look at it and you think, oh, mate, or by the same token, we might get one of the Champions League teams that have dropped down. I think we're going to get one of those anyway, aren't we? But
I mean, it looks like at the moment the 12 teams that are absolutely certain to be involved, we're the 10th highest seed, and then you've got, there's 10 teams coming out of the Champions League qualifiers, 10 teams that won't qualify for the group stage. So you'd probably expect most of them to have a higher coefficient than the Hammers do.
Yeah.
So you could be looking at possibly being in the third pot. So you could have two very, very good sides, and one weaker side. So it's going to be tough, isn't it? Anyway, which
it is. But then we could also get someone like Celtic or Rangers, who've got a better European coefficient than we have. They're going to be dropping out the Champions League, I think, aren't they now, into the Europa?
They are, yeah.
It's the luck of the draw. There are going to be teams that aren't as good as us that are dropping out the Champions League into the Europa. So hopefully we'll get them and not the shocks. I haven't seen the qualifying results of those that have dropped down. So I can't say if any of the normal perennial Champions League contenders, so to speak, that normally do reasonably well are going to be dropping down into the Europa this season. I'll have to have a look so that next time I'm a bit more versed up on it. So
I did a piece for the homepage in the week. I'm just trying to find it now, but it's an absolute nightmare trying to work out the qualification. And you get your 10, you get your 12 qualifiers, of which West Ham are one, and then you get 10 teams come through the Europa League qualifying, and then you get a further 10 teams who fall out of Champions League qualifying. And we already know that there's teams such as Lyon and Naples, Lazio are in there. Frankfurt, Leicester, of course, we can't draw Leicester. You can't draw two teams in the same league in the group phase. Marseille, we could be playing Payet's Marseille. Real Sociedad and Real Betis, who interestingly are both seeded below us. But you look at some of the teams that are still involved in the Champions League. You've got clubs like Sparta, who some of our players will know very well. Benfica, Shakhtar Donetsk, Monaco, Eindhoven, and then you've got clubs, as you said, like Rangers and Celtic as well. And then you even go down to clubs such as you've got a couple of real small clubs like an Azerbaijan club, Baku, and Lincoln Red Imps from Gibraltar. You wouldn't expect to qualify. But yeah, it's a real hodgepodge. You don't know who you're going to get, but it's going to be exciting, though, isn't it?
It is, of course it is. It's another competition that we're in, and it's something that we haven't been in for yonks. I'm hoping that I can get abroad to a couple of the aways, but with all this COVID and amber list, and I'm not sure I want to risk it, which is a bit unfortunate. But if towards the end of it, travel to Europe's going to be easier, then might be interesting. Unless it's against the Russian team, then
or an Azerbaijan. I'm not sure. The journey, it seems quite a long one, but it's exciting, though, isn't it? It is. The potential of watching West Ham in Europe. It's been a long time,
and proper.
Europe,
proper, and we guarantee an X amount of games as well. Unlike when we've been knocked out in the qualified stages before. We got excited over that, even though it was against the smaller teams. You know what I mean? And now we're playing real European clubs, if you know what I mean. So I can't wait. I can't wait, and I'll be glued to the telly when that draw's made.
Yeah, absolutely. That draw, of course, is the 27th of August, which is I'm just trying to find out here. 27th of August is a Friday. That's the day West Ham United will find out who we face in the Europa League. Our 5 opponents in the it's 8 groups of 4, isn't it? Our opponents in the group phase. 6 matches guaranteed for the Hammers in the Europa League, and hopefully we can go a bit further and emulate what clubs like Fulham have done in years gone by.
And
a long way in it. Who knows? But we're going to wrap up there for the day. It's been a great day for the Hammers. Oh, before we do that, Graham has come back. We were asking about bogey teams. He says, I'm still struggling, but it certainly isn't Liverpool. or worse to that effect. But there you go. Not many teams that we've had the hex over the years there, for sure. But that's it today. It's finished in the final pre-season friendly of the 2021-22 off-season. West Ham United 2, Atalanta of Serie A 0. The goals coming from Michail Antonio in the first half, and Pablo Fornals in the second half, as West Ham sign off pre-season with another very decent morale boosting win. We're off to Newcastle next weekend. Well, some of us are. Some of us will be here. I can guarantee you that if all goes well, we'll be back here on Eyes Up Mother Brown once again for the start of a new season. And hopefully it's going to be another good one. Who knows? Who knows what lies ahead? But we're certainly full of optimism. And it's been a good day for the Hammers today. That's just about it from us. We shall see you all very soon. DL, any final words you want to drop in before we sign off?
Yeah, come on, your irons.
Do we get one of those?
You get
too
one
old
of
for
those.
that now. Why not?
No, I just didn't want to put the shoulder out doing it.
There's a sign of the times. Thanks for joining us, everyone, on the live stream today. It's been great, as always, having you with us and reading out your comments. We hope to see you all again very soon. Until next time,